All right, welcome back, True Seeker. Start off by saying congrats to the winners. For all you guys who are on Gematria Effect Sports, if you've wondered where I've been suspended just before the NFC and AFC Championship. Google suspended the channel for 2 weeks for the video I did talking about the ritual with the Tyree Nichols video release and the significance of Memphis playing Minnesota that night. They gave me a nice 2-week suspension about 30 minutes before kickoff on the conference championships. And that hurt me because the biggest signups I always get for the year are promoting the Super Bowl. So that was a very costly suspension for me, but I have been posting the whole time on GematriaEffectNews 25. Of course, that's a lot smaller channel than Gematria Effect Sports. But again, I do want to say congrats to the winners. We absolutely destroyed the prop bets tonight, and we did hit nice with the Chiefs winning. And if you guys missed it on Gematria Effect News 25, my main news channel right now, I did live stream the entire Super Bowl and want to recap, a lot of the things we talked about, just how rigged this Super Bowl was. 38, the number again. And you might have heard Rihanna at halftime coming out in all red for the Chiefs comeback, singing that song where she drops the lyrics about LeBron, who just passed Kareem on the 38th day of the year, scoring 38 points, setting the points record in the 38,000 mark, beating a record that stood for 38 years and 308 days, and also setting the record exactly 3,883 days after he beat the Thunder for his first championship. Of course, he set the record against the Thunder. But then here in the Super Bowl, you had Jalen Hurts in his 38th career game with 38 pass attempts lose to the Chiefs, who scored 38 after Rihanna performed at halftime. And every year we're showing how the Super Bowl is rigged with the halftime performer. And again, if you're new here, Gematria, the Kabbalistic practice of coding numbers into words. There are 4 ciphers, alphabetic order, forwards and backwards with numerology. Out of the 4 ciphers, as we always teach, the most important cipher is the dark blue cipher, Rihanna 38. The score at halftime was 24-14, 38 combined points. The final score, 38-35. For a winning score of 38 points. Jalen Hurts does not match what Montana did 38 years ago. His second team, the Chiefs, preserve his legacy. And, what I saw this morning, we were already filling the Chiefs. Andy Reid got his 269th career win, the 57th prime in Super Bowl 57 when Missouri equals 57. But when I saw this morning on ESPN, again, if you guys don't follow me on Twitter, I posted this. Does it say what? 9:18 a.m. Pacific time, so way before the game. But again, just a nice little clue for everybody. Kansas City is the underdog in Super Bowl 57. Type Kansas City in the calculator at GematriaEffect.news. So just imagine if you follow these directions. You read it. A total of 122 puppies from 67 shelters will compete in today's Puppy Bowl. Again, the Chiefs were underdogs, but 122 and 67. What I didn't share in this tweet, which we did talk about on Patreon, is the next road win for this season would be the 122nd road win. The Chiefs were the away team in the Super Bowl because the NFC was designated the home team. But 122 and 67. So had you gone to the website, clicked the calculator, typed in Kansas City, what do you know? In the most simple cipher, Kansas City 122. In the other cipher, Kansas City 67. What do you know? 122.67. And that is the exact same as this calculator. This calculator is a little more colorful. 122.67. Think they were giving you a clue in the Puppy Bowl if you knew Gematria? Imagine all dealing with like, Gematria's stupid. Meanwhile, here we are hitting another future. And yes, for the record, we did take the Chiefs' future on the Super Bowl August 24th, the day Len Dawson died on Kobe Bryant Day. Of course, Kobe's from Philly. Len Dawson, Super Bowl quarterback for the Chiefs. I feel dumb that I didn't see Kansas City versus Philly on that day. Should have seen it. Big omission. I'm blaming it on I was just getting ready to hit the road and travel across the country for New York 9/11. But I hate to make excuses, but I really shouldn't have missed that one. It should have been another year where we hit both teams before the season began. We did see the possibility of an Andy Reid Super Bowl early in the year. So, anyway, and realize what ESPN did too, because after week 3, ESPN told everybody the Eagles were going to win the Super Bowl. It was a done deal. They were an unstoppable team. I'm sure a lot of people took that advice and today watched their future fall apart. But 122-67 in the Puppy Dog Bowl. They did a lot of sick things in this game. If you watch my real-time tracking of the Super Bowl, we broke all this down in real time. When the Chiefs took the lead 35-27, as they went to commercial, they started playing the Audio Slave song Cochise, which is about the Native American chief from Arizona. And look at this. Look at the name Cochise, you guys. 62-35. The Chiefs took the lead 35-27. That's 62 points. Patrick Mahomes had just gotten his 35th career playoff touchdown. By the way, that was one of our nice props. We had Mahomes for 3 passing touchdowns. It was Lock City on that. He was definitely getting to 35 on his 149th day of his age, the 35th prime, as well as picking up his 227th career touchdown overall, which we'll talk more about. But Cochise is also 127, which is the 31st prime, and Chiefs is 31. And finally, Mahomes is in a Super Bowl where 31 points weren't scored, but this was Reid's 31st year. Reid got to 12-7 in the playoffs. But that's what they played going to commercial right after the score became 35-27. And then if you were watching, just before the Chiefs won the game 38-35, when it was still tied 35-all, they went to commercial break, and they showed John Travolta doing Grease. Remember what I talked about last year with Olivia Newton-John dying at age 73? Olivia Newton-John died in this huge 73 ritual. She was in Greece. The night before her death, she's from Australia. The Masked Singer show in Australia did a tribute to Olivia Newton-John, and then the next day she's dead at 73. And there was a lot to it. But for the commercial break, I said, okay, are they going to come back and kick a field goal and have 73 points in tribute to Olivia Newton-John, who just died in recent history? And sure enough, 73 combined points. But here, check this out. Missouri has Gematria 57, Kansas City, Missouri, right? Look at the governor of Missouri, you guys. Look at this. The governor of Missouri, Mike Parson, he's the 57th governor of Missouri, right? The 57th governor. He's 67 years old. Again, notice Kansas City, 67, right? And look at the guy's birthday. The guy's birthday is September 17th. That's the day in history the NFL was established. And you know who else was born on September 17th that just won Super Bowl 57? Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, born September 17th. Now get a load of this. The guy who just became the governor of Pennsylvania, guess where he's from? He just became governor this year. Governor of Pennsylvania, just happens to be from Kansas City, Missouri. Okay? Just became governor this year. And again, what am I showing you guys year after year? The people that are in these elected offices, it's a selection, it's not an election, they're not counting your votes. All the government positions, the rigged sports outcomes, it's all rigged, it's all scripted. They got all the pawns in the right places on the board for the ritual. This guy, 49 years old, this is why prop bets tonight that we had Jalen Hurts to score 2 touchdowns. He surpassed that. We had Mahomes to throw 3 touchdowns. He got it done. Both of it came back to 49. Eagles in Gematria is 49. Again, the new governor of Pennsylvania just happens to be 49 years old from Kansas City. But Eagles 49, NFL 49, Super Bowl 49, America 49. And by the way, so is the word Scottish. Big number tonight with Scottish. But Mahomes got to 227 passing touchdowns, which is the 49th prime number. And he got to 35 in the playoffs on his 149th day of his age, which is the 35th prime. You see how Scottish is 103 and 113? American football is credited to the Scottish Rite Freemason Walter Camp. Look at Scottish Rite, 57, like the Super Bowl number, right? 57. And Eagles has the gematria of 113. Mahomes came into the game tonight. Notice how State Farm is 103. Again, Scottish is 103 and 113. But Mahomes, who does the State Farm ads, playing in State Farm Stadium tonight, came in 10-3 in the playoffs. And then he beat the Eagles tonight to get to 11-3 in the playoffs. And again, Len Dawson died on Kobe Bryant Day, who died right before Mahomes won his first Super Bowl. Kobe Bryant is 113 as well, and 41 like Super Bowl. Like how Mahomes just won his 41st home game to advance to the Super Bowl. Also, tonight, Andy Reid Bowl. Eagles, It has the 113, has the 22. Andy Reid got his 22nd playoff win tonight, becoming 2-2 in Super Bowls. And again, he got his 269th career win, which is the 57th prime number. Patrick Mahomes became the first quarterback in 23 years to win league MVP and Super Bowl MVP. The last time it happened was Kurt Warner with the Rams back when they were in Missouri. Notice how Rams is 57, just like Missouri's 57 in the time of their 57th governor. 23 years ago, here we are in 2023. And the year that Warner did it, that was the last time in history that all three Florida teams made it to the Super Bowl. Or not Super Bowl, but playoffs. Miami, Tampa, Jacksonville. They all made it to the playoffs the year Warner did it. Now history repeats. Mahomes does it all these years later. And here were prop bets that we like tonight. The over. We like the over. That hit. The over-under was at 51 points. You had ref number 51. You had Rihanna, born on the 51st day of the year. Today, the Super Bowl was exactly 51 weeks after her birthday. You had 27-year-old Mahomes versus 24-year-old Jalen Hurts for 51, the youngest combined ages of quarterbacks in the Super Bowl. When Mahomes won his Super Bowl, remember Super Bowl 54, the Joe Montana Bowl, Joe Montana 54. The score was 31-20, 51 points. Now he wins again tonight. And hold on, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, we'll just keep going through the different things that were there for the rigging. By the way, Andy Reid, Garrett Reid, his son. Let me see if I got the spelling right. Yeah, that is right. You see how Garrett Reid is 172? 172. It's also 73, like the points in the game tonight. Kansas City Chiefs, 172. And remember, Len Dawson died 172 days before the Super Bowl. That's why we put in the future for the Chiefs that day. Prior to that, I was filling the Bills because what they did with the shooting, and it synced up with Kathy Hochul, who's the 57th governor of New York from Buffalo. Again, Bills had a great narrative, and we did very well with the Bills this year. I was worried that their whole season would be about 14. Of course, their season ended after 14 wins, and that game started 14-0 with the Bengals. It was the Bengals' 55th season. They got their 10th straight win over the Bills in that game. 55 is the 10th triangular number, and the winning streak started on the day, leaving 55 days left there. We knew the Bills were in trouble in that Bills-Bengals game. That's why I told my people that day, everyone who's got their future in for the Bills, bet Bengals. They're a good payout today, and get back your future money in case the Bills go down today. And at the beginning of the playoffs, we did put in a chip for the Andy Reid Bowl, and I actually advised that much earlier in the season too. But this is another year where we did have the Super Bowl winner correct. We did lay it down on a few spaces. We covered the Bucks, the Bills, and the Chiefs before the season began. We had chips on all those teams to win the Super Bowl. But 172 days before Len Dawson's birthday, 172 days before the Super Bowl, Len Dawson died on Kobe Bryant Day, who again's from Philly, which is what foretold the Super Bowl. And let's not forget, Len Dawson died at age 87. He became a Hall of Famer in 87, which was the year Doug Williams became the first black quarterback to win the Super Bowl. Philadelphia Eagles 87. And he died 65 days after his birthday. Philadelphia 65. This year, the Chiefs won their first game of the year in the Cardinals Stadium with 65 combined points. Rihanna, the halftime performer, 65. Will Smith put out the film Emancipation 65 days before the Super Bowl. He's from Philadelphia. Remember, they solved the boy in the box murder this year from 1957, 65 years before the season. And the name of that boy in the box, here, if you guys don't know about this, Boy in the Box, Philadelphia. Check this out. It was the 1957 unsolved murder mystery, and the boy's name, Joseph Augustus Zarelli. Look at it. 87, right? Travis Kelce, the Kelce brothers. Their mom's name is Donna, 87. Travis Kelce came into tonight's game with 87 total career touchdowns. We liked him to score one because he got his 41st career road touchdown tonight. Big Super Bowl number. See how Super Bowl's 131? Travis Kelce came into today's game on his 131st day of his age with 131 receptions for the year. And if you look at Patrick Mahomes' passer rating for the Super Bowl, 131. Jalen Hurts' passer rating tonight was 103 for the 103rd season in State Farm as he goes down to the State Farm advertisement, guy, Mahomes. But okay, what other 87s am I forgetting right now? Again, Len Dawson, dead at 80. I'm forgetting some other 87s that were in this game. It's okay. All right, so we talked about how it was scripted for Andy Reid. We've talked about the Kelce brothers. And by the way, another thing about the Kelce brothers, they went to the University of Cincinnati. Again, with all the 51 on the game. Cincinnati, we call it the 51 city. Joe Burrow became 5-1 in the playoffs before he got eliminated in the conference championship. Both Kelce brothers went to the University of Cincinnati. The Society of Cincinnati, their birthday is May 13th, and that's 90 days after today's game. It was the Eagles' 90th season, and the Society of Cincinnati's symbol is the eagle. So just in light of the script, how perfect all that is, the Society of Cincinnati's birthday is May 13th, 13/5, like 135. Again, big number with the Eagles. Eagles fly is 135. If you guys recorded the game tonight, go back to the beginning of the game when they showed the first female flyover with the Jets. They showed the camera from the cockpit of one of the women, but what you could see is the jet next to her, and you could see the tip of the jet out the window, and the only number you could see for the Jets was 135. The Jets flying over, fly Eagles fly. Again, Philadelphia established on a date with 135 numerology, and it all goes back to the Bible. The Key of David has that gematria of 135. The letter written to the Church of Philadelphia, they mentioned the Key of David. Again, Carson Wentz set the rookie passing record, 131 passes with no picks. And on and on and on. Go back and just look at the stats they even kept putting up in the game. I was documenting the 135s. When Mahomes had 13 dropbacks, they showed that he was rushed 5 times. So you had another 13 and 5. They put it up, again, number that comes up all the time with Philly, but they had to show you, just the jet with 135 at the beginning. And they did lose to the Chiefs in their 63rd season for the record. And just about the Chiefs winning in their 63rd season, Native Americans 63 and 135 as well. And it's also 243. The last time they won the Super Bowl, the country was 243 years old. Right now it's 246 years old. And today was 246 days after Joe Montana's birthday. And by the way, Native Americans also 90, facing the Eagles in their 90th season. But again, this year they went in their 63rd season. The last time they won, the country was 243 years old. I still have to work on my future for next year, but I'm just going to give you guys something I'm thinking about for tonight. Next year will be Super Bowl 58. Freemasonry's 58, like secret society. Huge numbers with the Masons. Again, American football is credited to Freemasonry. And the word Masonic is 29. And so is Mahomes. And so is football. The AFC now trails the NFC 28-29. So my hunch right now is that the NFC and AFC will be tied next year at 29 apiece. And, baby goat. He's 2-1 in Super Bowls. I got to assume he's going to become 3-1 at some point. Chiefs 31. 2 of his Super Bowls, there's been 31 points, and he beat the Niners 31-20. He lost to Brady 31-9. And check out Andy Reid's birthday with regards to his last Super Bowl, losing 31-9. Andy Reid's birthday is 3/19. And amazingly, you heard during the game, this was his 31st year coaching in the NFL. Not always as a head coach. For a while, he was assistant, but this was his 31st year as being a coach, whether it's a head coach or assistant in the NFL. Tonight, from Super Bowl 55, where he got beat 31-9, tonight, he became 31-9 with the Chiefs since losing that Super Bowl 31-9. Tonight, he became 31-9 since that game. And also amazing, from his March 19th birthday to the start of this season, September 8th, was 173 days later. And that's a big number with Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is 173. The Chiefs became 17-3 for the year. 17-3. 173 is the 40th prime number. And Andy Reid tonight became 4-0. See how 173 is the 40th prime? Andy Reid became 4-0 against the Eagles as the coach of the Chiefs. And tonight's moon phase was Scorpio. Scorpio is also 40, also 41 like Super Bowl. But, pretty important on Super Bowl 57 because that's a big number with the moon, as we've talked about for many years. Today's date numerology was also 57, and it was 57 days after the Pope's birthday. But yeah, here, let me just show you the box score real quick. In addition to that 38-point score, you had Jalen Hurts in his 38th career game have 38 passing attempts. There's the 103 passer rating for the 103rd NFL season. And there's Mahomes with the 131 passer rating in his Super Bowl, his third Super Bowl appearance. And again, Travis Kelce, today was his 131st day of his age. Came into the game with 131 receptions for the year. I mean, you just couldn't have scripted it any better. So prop bets that we did well on. Mahomes for 3 touchdowns, hit it. Jalen Hurts for 2 touchdowns, hit it. Travis Kelce, anytime touchdown, hit it. A.J. Brown, I really liked A.J. Brown to score in this game. And I got to give credit because if it wasn't for the caller from Vegas, he pointed out, I want to say in the divisional round, I'm pretty sure it was definitely before the conference championship. I want to say he noticed in the divisional round that A.J. Brown, I think it was the divisional round because he was really filling the Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl in the divisional round after what he found with A.J. Brown. If you go back to the time of Lincoln, again, the Eagles play in Lincoln Financial Field. Today's Lincoln's birthday, who freed the slaves. By the way, you guys, that was, okay, that's the 87 I forgot. Abe Lincoln's 87. It's Abe Lincoln's birthday, right? With all this 87, the Eagles, Kelce, Donna the mom, but Abe Lincoln's got the 87-42 like slavery, and Abe Lincoln also has the 57 like the Super Bowl. And he wrote the Emancipation Proclamation, and Will Smith from Philly has the movie synced up. But if you go back into the time of Abraham Lincoln, A.J. Brown is a name from history that's in the history books connected to slavery and the slave trade. Search it. Search slavery 1860 A.J. Brown. You'll find it. He was a notable name connected to the history of slavery at the time of the American Civil War. And think about it. Now you know why A.J. Brown went to the Eagles for and again, Lincoln Financial Field. Going with Jalen Hurts. 103 passer rating. Lincoln Financial Field, 103, right? Also 122, like the date of this Super Bowl, 12/2 is Kansas City picks up the 122nd road win of the season. And you see how Kansas City's 32? 32 had the defensive touchdown in this game. Chiefs just became 3-2 in Super Bowls all time. Kansas City's 32, so is Chiefs. And again, check this out. Super Bowl 7. Oh, another prop bet that we liked. Shout out to Atachi who called him with the information. Super Bowl 7, 17, 27, 37, 47, and now 57. All the Super Bowls with the 7 in it have had a defensive or special teams touchdown in them. That was a big payout tonight. So again, prop bets that we liked. Our Mahomes touchdown hit. Jalen Hurts touchdown hit. Kelce touchdown hit. A.J. Brown touchdown hit. We like the over tonight. Over hit. We favored the Chiefs. I did warn people not to bet the house because there were some scares. It did feel like the Chiefs had the better riddle because they had all the 57s. Like I told people, that's the number of the Super Bowl. Seems like it's the most important. What made this a harder Super Bowl to call than others is the Eagles had this. If the Eagles, you see how Chiefs is 112 in that same Super Bowl's 112? Had the Eagles won tonight, they would have picked up their 112th win versus the AFC all time. The reason for them to stay on 111 was that the Queen died to start the year, whose birthday was on the 111th day of the year. And remember when the Royals won the 111th World Series, we were talking about that 111 connection with Kansas City. And notice how Kansas City Royals, they have the 212 like the date of the Super Bowl, and they also have the 103 like the 103rd NFL season. Mahomes, a baseball player. They also have the 59 going with the slave thing. Also, just another thing. Last year, Joseph Lee Burrow, his full name, Joseph Lee Burrow, 213. He lost the Super Bowl to the 213 area code LA on 213. Let me get Jalen Hurts' full name. I think it's Jalen Alexander Hurts, but let me double check that. It is. It's Jalen Alexander Hurts, who really embarrassed himself with the worst Hail Mary in the history of the NFL. But notice how his full name is 212. So 2 years in a row, the quarterback whose name goes with the date of the Super Bowl loses. And he also does have the 112, and now he's played in a Super Bowl, and I don't know if he'll ever go back after that Hail Mary. I don't even know if he's qualified to start for the Eagles with that Hail Mary. I mean, you could probably find 15-year-olds in Philadelphia who can throw the ball further down the field than Jalen Hurts. Oh, my God, that was embarrassing. Did anyone see that Hail Mary? I was like, wow, is Jalen Hurts a guy? That was the worst throw I ever saw. Again, I'm nearly 40 years old. I guarantee you I can throw the ball still further down the field. I have a pretty good arm for the record, but that was embarrassing. And that's why I was even talking about during the game. It's like Jalen Hurts, like these defensive coordinators shouldn't have any problem guarding against Jalen Hurts. He doesn't have an arm. Why do they keep over pursuing? Just keep your defense right there so we can't run anywhere. Take away all of his running lanes and just play a little bit of defense on his receivers. Jalen Hurts would be ineffective. But the NFL is a joke. It's totally scripted. It's for the blind and people don't know anything about sports. But yeah, Jalen Hurts was fully exposed on that last throw, which was so embarrassing. For the record, prop bet that we missed was Mahomes could have got his 57th career interception in Super Bowl 57. That one didn't hit, but hey, we hit almost everything we like tonight, including the winner. And again, another year where we can say we had the future in for the right team before the season began. Yeah, we did have to take 3 teams before the season began, but you know what? Had you done that, you wouldn't have made a lot because the Chiefs only paid $425 if you bet 100 at the start of the year. But let's just say you bet 100 on the Bucks, 100 on the Bills, and 100 on the Chiefs. How did you do? You lost 200, but then your 100 on the Chiefs became 525. So you came out ahead. And then, just like year after year as we do, we win most weeks. I mean, we win. There were 3 weeks I was very disappointed with this year out of the 18-week NFL season. And then playoffs, we won each week. I definitely had better years. Like Super Bowl 55, we went perfect in the playoffs. Both of our teams hit from the beginning of the season. Our future was dead on. I mean, that was a lot better year. But we smashed tonight overall. A lot of people did well. And again, just proof of the gematria knowledge. So I'm always amazed at the people that want to take pot shots at the work. But again, it's like, what are you doing? Like, are you in real time observing things like then going to the Cochise song and the gematria of Cochise is exactly what the score of the game is? We're doing this stuff day in and day out. It's about waking people up. It's also a little bit about padding pockets. And here, I haven't even looked at it in real time. It doesn't look like they know Cochise's the day that he died, but they got the day he died, but they do not have. Again, Cochise was a Native American chief in Arizona. And again, when the Chiefs went up 35-27, they played Audio Slave Cochise. Cochise, 35-27. That's 62 points. Chiefs up 35. Mahomes had just gotten his 35th career passing touchdown. You see where Cochise is 62? So is Patrick Mahomes. But I was just like, you got to be kidding me. So June 8th. I got to see if there's anything more to this. 159th day of the year he died. Okay, I see a little something with that. Again, it's Super Bowl 57, right? Scottish Rite, 159-57. You know what else is 57 that matters here? Georgetown, the nation's first Jesuit university where Vince Lombardi, they play for the Vince Lombardi Trophy. Vince Lombardi died at Georgetown at age 57, unexpectedly to start the 1970 season. So Cochise died on the 159th day of the year, going with Scottish Rite. And yeah, yeah, maybe that's the most important thing about that. But yeah, that Audio Slave album came out 2002. It's just, it's like, I don't think I've ever heard him play that song in an NFL game ever going to commercial break. And RIP to Chris Cornell, who's dead by the numbers too. But you know what? Actually, you know what else is weird about that? June 8th. There's a lot of deaths in Seattle connected to that date. Chris Cornell's from Seattle. He sung the song Cochise. Seattle's the 206 area code. Don't forget that the year Bill Gates became a celebrity was the year that Kurt Cobain, Seattle rock star, died, and he died 206 days before Bill Gates' birthday. But yeah, I think those are the majority of the bullet points. And again, for all of you guys who refrain from the knowledge, I don't know what's wrong with you. I mean, again, our list of future calls and dominating the Super Bowl year after year. I mean, I don't know why you're still on the fence. I mean, I don't know why you're on the fence. And by the way, the whole spy balloon thing, if you guys have been caught up in that, notice how spy balloon is 131, 41, 49, just like Super Bowl is 131, 41, 49. And the stories involved Montana, the 41st state. Remember how in the news at first it was in Montana, then they covered it when it was in Kansas City, Joe Montana's town, right before the Super Bowl. And then it's been up in Alaska, which is the 49th state. Again, all this stuff, you guys, is a joke. They shot down the spy balloon 131 days before Xi Jinping's birthday. And China's red, right? The red team wins. Rihanna comes out in red at halftime. And I speculated that the Chiefs might be down by about that many points. And it might be good to get the Chiefs on a comeback because check it out, you guys. Super Bowl 57 was the 53rd Super Bowl of the modern era, right? Super Bowl 57 was the 53rd of the modern era. So we smelt a little bit of a comeback because remember, Brady had his 57th career comeback in that stadium on Christmas. And, they call Mahomes baby goat. But comebacks also 163, which is the 38th prime. So the Chiefs came back after Rihanna in red sings, coming out singing about LeBron James, who just had his big old 38 ritual. But what do you know? 38 combined points at halftime, 38 the winning score. Another year talking about how the score. Every year I'm talking about the same thing. It's either the singer's gematria or the singer's birthday that the tribute is for halftime. And my favorite one to date was Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga. Check out her birthday. Her birthday is 28-3. Remember when the Patriots were down 28-3 to the Falcons and then they came back and win? They were down 25 on 2-5, Falcons 25, in the 97th NFL season, which is the 25th prime, the year they moved the touchback to 25, and then they come back and win. And by the way, that game went to overtime, and we also predicted why that would be the first Super Bowl going to overtime. That whole season was about 44. Falcons and Packers played each other in the NFC Championship. Wisconsin's 44, so is Georgia. Two teams that are attached at the hip. Hank Aaron, who wore number 44, played in both states. Brett Favre, who was drafted by the Falcons, went to the Packers. Stacey Abrams, who's from Wisconsin, always running for office down in Georgia. So many rituals with that state, but 44 points the Falcons scored to beat the Packers in the NFC Championship. Then overtime on the 44-date numerology. That was a nice prop bet we hit that year. And saying Brady would win it, and it would be all about 25. You could have got some real nice real-time odds when they were down 28-3. When Lady Gaga sang with the 28-3 birthday again. And that was Super Bowl 51. That Super Bowl was synced with her 31st birthday down in Houston. Again, we call Houston the 31 city. He had the death of Takeoff while he's with his group mate, Migos, who's 31 years old at the time. And then they arrest the shooter 31 days later, and 31 just prevails again and again in Houston sports. But Anyway, RIP to everybody who died from the game. You might have heard that one of ESPN lost a longtime staff member who's been with the company for 33 years, died today from a massive heart attack. Game's down on the 33rd parallel. What wasn't the winning field goal a 33-yard kick as well? In Glendale, 33 on the 33rd parallel. I think the game winner was 33 yards. Oh, you also did have a 60, you got a record punt return in this game for 65 yards. Again, it's amazing how they do it. Philadelphia, the 65 city. Again, Rihanna, 65. the Will Smith movie 65 days before the Super Bowl. Again, that movie was Emancipation 57. Lincoln wrote the Emancipation Proclamation 113 as Mahomes becomes 11-3 over the Eagles. And again, on Abe Lincoln's birthday. Oh, and something else I talked about is there was a narrative for Butker, who did score the winning points, to score the winning points today, because today was Harrison Butker's 214th day of his age. It was Lincoln's 214th birthday today. And it's in Arizona, the Valentine State, because they're called the Valentine State because their birthday is February 14th, 214. So Harrison Butker, on his 214th day of his age, wins the game. What do they call it the game? They called it football. Off his foot, the winning points in a perfect ritual. So, again, who wants to talk about how scripted it is? Because I got facts for days. And in fact, I'm probably forgetting 50 facts I should be telling you right now. I got so many facts. Yeah, and again, we thought there'd be a great... Oh, that's another one. That's another one that I should have told you. Okay, you see how Black is 11-34? Also, check out how Lincoln has the 34, right? Mahomes today picked up his 34th career road win because the AFC was away. He became the 11th player to win league MVP and win the Super Bowl. 11th player all time. And he kept it so that only 34 quarterbacks have ever won the Super Bowl. By Jalen Hurts not winning, it stayed at 34. And notice how Mahomes equals 29-34, also like Black. And Mahomes today picked up his 75th career win. Again, just the Kobe thing. Kobe 75. Len Dawson retired in 1975. Len Dawson was drafted in 57, going with another 57. Like I told people, here, I'll show you guys what my notes look like for, again, we emphasize this a million times, that all of the 57s were on the Kansas City side. So, conclusion, I just want you to see all these 57s right here. On the Chiefs side, Andy Reid can get his 269th win, 57th prime, Missouri 57. Missouri governor is 57th in state history. Owner of Chiefs, Clark Hunt, is 57 years old. Len Dawson, drafted in 57. Bobby Hall, who joined the NHL with the Blackhawks in 57, dead. Again, he died the day after they set the Super Bowl. And what have I been teaching you guys about for years? Dane Calloway, where are you? Dane Calloway's been postponing our interview for months. We should have had this interview. I've been telling him I'm supposed to go on to Dane Calloway's channel and talk about how all of the black quarterbacks to win Super Bowls have played for the Native American teams, and that's preserved. Again, Redskins, Chiefs, Seahawks. Seahawks are named after Chief Seattle. By the way, that's another 113. Chief Seattle, who gave his famous speech in history on March 11th. But yeah, all of the 57s were on the Chiefs side. The Eagles had no connection to 57 for this Super Bowl, and that's ultimately why they made the most sense. Oh, by the way, Sacheen Littlefeather died at age 75 early in this season, the day that Mahomes beat Brady. Baby Goat beat Daddy Goat, and that same day, Sacheen Littlefeather, a Native American, died at 75. Now Mahomes wins the Super Bowl and gets a 75th win. And it's not an accident that he went into the Super Bowl with 74 wins, a symbolic number. Whatever that Jesus campaign is that they were doing the Super Bowl had the Chiefs numbers, and Mahomes is got the same connection. Again, if you're new here, that was the number that put it on the map for me. Just the most simple cipher. Jesus is 74, cross is 74, Messiah is 74, gospel 74, parables 74, occult, English, Gematria, energy. When I saw that holiday, this nation's birthday, 74, I said, okay, the language is coded. This is not a coincidence. And sadly, when I shared that with my friends, when I found this out in 2013, my friends all thought it was mental illness. They're like, Zach, that's just a coincidence. That doesn't mean anything. And I was like, what is wrong with these people? This doesn't mean anything. You guys brain dead? And we all know the answer to that. That's why they're watching the NFL. What's up, King Henry?
Hey, am I live or what?
Yeah, you're live.
I'm live. I am alive.
Good to be alive.
Hey, I won $389 today betting on the Chiefs, and I was told all week that it was going to be the Phillies, and I saw where all the money was going. It was going towards the Phillies, or the Eagles. I'm sorry, the Phillies. And not to mention the sports analysis all week were saying it was going to be the Eagles.
Not all week, all season, man. ESPN told everybody in week 3 the Eagles would win the Super Bowl, and that's what I kept telling my people too. I was like, when is ESPN duped millions and millions of people to bet on the Eagles to win the Super Bowl. You really think they're going to pay out on that?
Exactly. And yeah, I just saw all the money. Well, there was people here today putting a lot of money on the Eagles today. Even with the, what was it?
Plus mind control. They're under the mind control. So.
Oh, and the commercials were just garbage.
Yeah. What else is new?
I was watching you live too, at the same time, but I got a kick out of it because you were like 10-second delayed, and were you watching it on your iMac or something?
Yeah, I'm watching it on the computer.
Yeah, so it was like a 5-second delay, and it was just kind of funny seeing the plays happen, whether it was good or bad, and then you responding after the 5-second delay. But and then what a you called it, what a way to end it, that holding call.
Exactly. I mean, that holding call at the end is just why every Super Bowl MVP should be the ref, because that call determined the outcome of the game. Essentially, that pretty much guaranteed the win for the Chiefs. It allowed them to get a first down and milk the clock until the very end, and just a really knick-knack call that, again, there was a blatant holding call against the Chiefs early in the game that they didn't call in their favor. And yeah, I mean, just typical NFL.
And it was funny because, at first I was like, well, should I chew my nails or not? Because, we were down 10-0. But then it was like, I was like,
you should have been on the picture. And I predicted the Chiefs would be down at halftime and have a comeback. And I said, that's probably will get your best odds right there. So
I know. And then what about the, you said something about whoever bet on that quarterback, the Eagles quarterback, to get 3 touchdowns is a rich man.
Yeah, 3 rushing touchdowns. I didn't see that coming. I understand why he got to 3, so he has 31 for his career, and that number does keep showing up with the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Chiefs 31.
Showing up on the first page of Google.
What's going on, Henry? I'm getting an ad.
What's that?
I hear an ad coming through your phone.
Oh, let me turn it off. I'm turning off right now. I was trying to be cool and listen to myself live on YouTube.
Okay, but yeah, he did get the 31 career rushing touchdowns against the Chiefs, and again, that's the 11th prime going with the whole black thing. And again, maybe it's a mockery because he can't throw the ball, so he had to rush them all in like a running back.
Yeah, it was quite the deal.
Have you ever seen a worse Hail Mary in your life?
No, I didn't. That was pretty weird too.
Oh my God!
Not to mention though too, there was some doubt that he was going to throw a Hail Mary. There was going to be a passing interference. I was kind of worried about that. But when he threw that Hail Mary and it was like towards their feet, I was like, what kind of an? And I mean, at worst, he could have just thrown it up like fly up when we were kids, But
he didn't even make it to where the defenders were. It was embarrassing. I mean, that ball hardly went down the field. So
I know. Luigi, a guy I know down here, he won like $8,000.
Nice.
Yeah, I was just like, wow. So, anyways, I'm gonna go tomorrow. I'm gonna pull my money out of the sports books down here, and I'm just gonna wait until next year.
Okay.
Football. But yeah, today's Maya's birthday. She turned 16 today.
Happy birthday to Maya. Her birthday is one day after my nephew's. You know, it's funny. He turned 16 yesterday. Oh, my youngest nephew turned 16 yesterday. Yeah.
And your mom's birthday, September what? 7th?
8th.
Hers is the 8th, and mine's September 4th.
Right, 4 days apart. Yeah, it's interesting.
So, anyways, yeah, it was just it was quite the Super Bowl. But yeah, what a script to be written. And like you were saying, State Farm, and the Andy Reid Bowl. Yep, you're welcome, Maya.
The Rihanna Bowl, the Cochise Bowl, the Grease Tribute Bowl, all the things they did during it.
How'd you like that Jesus commercial? How
That's what I was talking about, how the Jesus thing had the Gematria Chiefs, and Jesus is like Mahomes, and he's the Jesus of the NFL. So,
and how Christians, we all need to love our enemies.
Yeah,
fuck our enemies.
Yeah.
I don't love anybody that tries to do me wrong. It was bad. That was the first time I've ever seen a commercial like that. What are they trying to pull on that? Next thing you know, next year they're gonna have a Mormon commercial.
Yeah, it was all focused on all the. It's just more stuff to piss people off. It's all focused on all the division over all the orchestrated crap. Again, if people just learn their gematria, they'd see through all these BS news stories, this fake religion, these rigged sports games. It just exposes it all. So.
Yeah. So, anyways, I just had to give you a call, and there was one thing I was gonna ask you or tell you something the other day. I've been trying to get a hold of you. You've been busy, but I can't. I lost my train of thought. Anyways, all right, man. I'll give you a call later. I'll let you know what's going on with North Dakota. That's still kind of up in the air. I'm kind of waiting for an answer back.
Okay, keep me posted, Henry. Appreciate it, man.
All right,
take care. See you. All right. Henry's bored in Las Vegas, so he wants to move to North Dakota. The over-under on him being ready to move out of North Dakota in under a month. Let me open it up for other people who have observations. If you guys would like to join the stream and share your observation, I'm going to post the link to join for anybody. Oh, Victor was just trying to WhatsApp me, but hey, Victor, I'm going to post the link. Why don't you just come on the stream? And from what I understand, Victor's getting the big W for his community too. I appreciate that, but I'm not going to do the call-in right now like that. I'm going to let people join the actual stream, and it sounds like Mr. Futures wants to get on here. Again, you guys, be careful of some of the pretenders in this community. Like the worst decoder who claims my accomplishments for his and has never called a future in his life. He told everybody the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl, which is pretty much what he does year after year. Puts everybody on the wrong team and makes Gematria look bad. Well, what's up? Open up.
Yeah, I just wanted to call back again. I know I talked to you earlier. I don't think you mentioned it in this stream, but for the new people, the last time the Eagles and the Chiefs played was October 10th, 21, where...
No. They played on October 3rd, 10-3, like the 103rd NFL season, exactly 71 weeks before this game, where African Americans 71, and the score was 42-30, like slavery's 42-30.
Yeah, and then he had the same passer rating, and then he averaged 9.3 pass yards per game. 93.
Here, I want people to see this too. I want you guys to see how sick all this stuff is. The first ever Eagles and Chiefs game. The last time they played was on 10-3, but look at this. Look at how sick this is. The first Chiefs-Eagles game was in October 22nd, 72. And check this out. The winning quarterback for that game for the Eagles, his name, Pete Liskey, played for the Eagles as quarterback in the first ever game between these two teams. And look at what day he died. He died last year on February 12th, 1 year to the day of the Super Bowl, February 12th, 2022. I mean, that's what I'm talking about, you guys, with the human ritual sacrifice and the ongoing rituals. And, you know, the thing is, the same people who are controlling these secret societies, you know, they were running shit in the time that Cochise died. They probably killed Cochise. That's why they got this as part of the planned ritual this year. You know, and again, just like I said in real time with the Grease thing, and I said, what are they going to do now? Make it 73 points and tribute to the death of Olivia Newton-John at 73, who died in the big 73 ritual? Exactly what happens. And again, you really think it's a coincidence that the quarterback who played the first ever Eagles-Chiefs game died a year to the day of Eagles-Chiefs in the Super Bowl? And just the fact that the last time they played was a perfect ritual too. Here, I want to put up what you're talking about with Mahomes having the same passer rating in the last meeting of teams. I'm getting that up right now. Let's see. Yep, Mahomes with a 131 passer rating. Unbelievable.
Yeah, so I just want
24 30. 24 32, man. It's just
yeah.
great. When he won the last Super Bowl, he's 24. Jalen Hurts is 24. And again, Len Dawson dead on the 24th of August, 24 days before Mahomes' birthday. 24 for 30. Unreal.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that for the new people. But the main reason I
Oh,
called
hold on. Look at Hurts' passer rating, 105. Arizona has the Gematria 105. Go ahead.
yeah, I just want to shout out Itachi because he gave this out a few weeks ago, or it might have been months ago. But he had a little thing about the Gatorade might be purple with the Queen theme, and it was purple that they tossed, and that was a plus 900. But
Plus 900 on the purple Gatorade.
yeah,
Nice.
but the main reason I put that in is the first commercial after the game started, they showed a Prime Drink Energy commercial, and the first clip was a guy pouring a purple drink on himself. So I thought it was funny.
Purple has that key 34 in it too, just like Lincoln's 34, Mahomes is 34, Black's 34. So yeah, that it goes with the royalty thing. Queen dying on the opening day. It goes with several things. That makes sense that they went with purple.
But yeah, thanks for the info. I've been following you maybe for 8 or 9 months now, and it's the
Better
same
late than
thing.
never. Better late
Yeah,
than never. Welcome to the channel.
yep. It's been it's been the same thing every day, 24/7, same numbers. For new people who think it's dumb, I mean, just stay for a couple of days. You'll see the same shit for the next
The
three
only
days.
people who think Gematria is dumb are dumb people. That's a fact. So,
Yep, appreciate it. I already
all right,
sent you a
take care,
cash
man.
app, so take care.
Later. What's up, Victor?
What's up? What's going on, Zach? Salute.
Enjoying the W's?
Definitely, man. Whenever you can get a Super Bowl correctly, it's amazing. It's incredible to be on the right side of history. It's a great position.
Yeah, and I love that we're helping people open their eyes to what a joke these games are so they're not wasting their emotional energy on how stupid they are.
Yeah, no, definitely. This Super Bowl was super amazing on multiple levels. For one, obviously, the numerical connection that was pointed out. Obviously, the 57s all across the board. It's a big number you've been speaking about for so many years, and connections to championships. Obviously, me and you didn't directly collaborate on this, but these are things this is knowledge that we both share, especially with that specific number, something that you've taught for a long, long time. And to be on the right side of a Super Bowl winner, is just great for the knowledge, just for furthering gematria, and also just for setting yourself apart from people that continue to take jabs at you or try to talk down on you, the haters, so on and so forth. So
Or
I
try
know
to
there's
take
a
my
lot of people.
accomplishments as theirs and just give that person 2 years. They'll be talking about how they had this Super Bowl right and I had it wrong, where we all know the reality. But in due time, they'll hope that everybody forgets the past. So.
Yeah, and it's funny also that to hear the tune change because last year, whatever the situation was, I know personally that the person that you're talking about wasn't even on the right side of the Super Bowl last year. They gave out multiple winners. I mean, multiple Super Bowl possibilities that were all incorrect. But to hear the tune change when they're incorrect, to claim that the victim mentality now when you're on the wrong side of something is just funny. You got to handle your wins just how you handle your losses. So it's just funny to see that change in personality and stuff like that. But yeah, obviously there's a lot of Philadelphia Eagles backers that are very frustrated tonight. It's funny to see that people who even study gematria could end up on two different sides of a game. That happens sometimes, but when a number like 57 is so prominent and it's so obvious, to get that incorrect must really, really burn. So I'm just glad we were both on the right side of that number, Zach. Something you spoke about for so long.
Indeed. It's like the thing I said to people, because a lot of people were torn just because the Eagles did have that potential Super Bowl number if they did win. But like I said, it's like Thursday night football. We know what to look for on Thursday night football. It's almost always 35. I mean, this entire season, the 35 thing failed one time. And in 1 week, I missed the 35 ritual, which made me want to punch myself in the face. But 35 dominates on Thursdays. And the opposing team could have like 5 things lining up for them that look good, but it's like, but the other team's got the 35 and it's 35 Thursday. And sure enough, that wins. So it was just like this. It's like, this is Super Bowl 57. Andy Reid's got the 57 if he wins. All the 57s are on Kansas City's side. That looks like the number for this game. And that's I didn't tell people to bet the house on Kansas City because I was a little bit worried, but they were the better bet, and our prop bets did well. The only 57 that didn't come through for us was Mahomes' 57th interception. But, hey, can't win them all. So,
Yeah. No, I just me, I like to focus on one specific bet, which was the Kansas City Chiefs to defeat the Philadelphia Eagles. If you wanted to take the 1.5, play it safe, or if you wanted to take the money line, either way was victorious. But I know you spoke about the 57 a lot, but one of the other numbers that I really, really liked in connection with this game was the 37. So Kansas City became the 37th team to wear white in the Super Bowl and win. Obviously, they have a choice, the home team, between wearing the color or wearing white. And Kansas City, Philadelphia actually chose to wear green, dark green, and Kansas City wore white. And Yahoo put up this article on why wearing white puts you in an advantage for the Super Bowl. So 36 teams in the last 56 Super Bowls have won wearing that jersey. So Kansas City became the 37th team. Obviously, today being a 37 date numerology, Super Bowl 57 has numerology of 12, being on the 12th day of the month. So many 37s, but
sure, that's true too, and it goes with the whole Kobe thing because Bryant 37, and this was totally connected to Kobe. This whole thing again, he becomes 11-3, gets a 75th win. Kobe numbers all over the place. Yeah, that was a good
exactly.
thought. The number that I liked besides the 57 was Reid getting his 22nd win and becoming 2-2 in Super Bowls against his old team, the Eagles. That made too much sense, especially since the only Super Bowl he'd ever won was on 2-2. And then I did also like a lot that Mahomes could get to 11-3 over the Eagles in the ongoing Kobe Bryant ritual, and especially with the Scottish connection and Scottish Rite. But yeah, I didn't put a whole lot of focus on the 37, but you're right. You're right, because 37, the 12th prime, those prime number relationships. And Atachi, if you're out there, Atachi likes to badmouth prime number relationships. I'm like, I don't know how you're doing that, man. Prime numbers are winning day after day, and it was the Super Bowl 57 connection, 269, the 57 prime. You can't badmouth prime number relationships. They win overwhelmingly in sports. So,
yeah, I mean, even to break it down, Super Bowl 57 that has numerology of 12, which has the direct connection to 37. Just reminds you of how important that number was today. And also being 37th month after Kobe Bryant's death as well, just connecting
think
back
about
to
this too, Vic, with the 57 thing, because think about what they did in the NBA today, right? You only had 2 games going today, 4 teams, and only one of those teams was playing in their 57th game, and it's the Celtics wearing green. We know a green team just lost the championship, the Celtics, recently. Now we got another green team going down.
Yeah.
And again, you guys, 57 is a big championship number. NBA Finals equals 57. World Series equals 57. So there it is. NBA Finals 57. World Series 57. The Eagles, or not the Eagles, the Phillies lost the World Series November 5th. If you count November 5th through December 31st, those are the last 57 days of the year. And now they go down in Super Bowl 57, and that was the 118th World Series where Phillies got the big 118 connection. They lose the Super Bowl on the 118th day of the NBA season. Again, all these sports leagues are connected. Pistons even went down with 118 points on the 118th day of the season. That's funny. You notice the Celtics got their 41st win, the Super Bowl number. The Pistons, I had a dollar parlay with the Pistons today. Had they won, they were a huge payout. They were close. They could have kept the Raptors on 40. Again, it's no shock that the Pistons lost because they picked up their 43rd loss in Ontario, which equals 43 on the 43rd day of the year. But had they won, they would have kept the Raptors on 41 wins all time in the series. It was close. They were 14.5-point underdog. But anyway.
And just yeah. So one other thing, connecting back to the 37, obviously, today being the 157th day of the NFL season, is the 37th prime number. Also today being the 37 date numerology,
Right.
just kind of like rang true how important that 37 was going to be, um, as well as paired with the 57. It was a perfect combination. Like, there wasn't there should have been no reason. Obviously, there was maybe some surface level things with Lincoln's birthday, Lincoln Financial Field, so on and so forth. Some surface level things to possibly back the Philadelphia Eagles, but it was overwhelmingly, for the Kansas City Chiefs, just taking into account the championship numbers, right? The most important numbers. So yeah, that I'm just glad that we both were on the right side of it. And it's funny how often this is happening now without us even collaborating information or even talking. Just ending up on the right side of these championship games is awesome, man. So yeah.
Indeed. Yeah, for anyone who went with the Eagles, it's too bad. But again, I mean, when there's a championship number, really pay mind to that number. That number is probably going to lead you to the winner if you can find out what team has the better connection. And literally, there were a long list of 57s for Kansas City. Not really any 57 connection for Philly at all. So.
And for the storyline element of it too, because one thing that I've recently come to understand is like some people, they can really care less about the numbers. They're really like sold on a story, like kind of like children, like they want to hear like a great bedtime story. As far as like when it comes to decode, that's why so many people get away with like tracing everything back to the Pope or tracing everything back to 9/11 or Kobe Bryant, so on and so forth. But like just looking at history, this happening on Abraham Lincoln's birthday. Obviously, Abraham Lincoln was the first Republican president, right? And then we
They
have
wear
like
red.
Red, exactly, right? And then you have Andy Reid, whose his
Big
nickname
Red.
is Big Red, right?
This whole spy
And
balloon thing synced up, which we've been talking
exactly,
about with China, which is red.
exactly.
And then Rihanna coming out in red, and I was like, "Uh-oh, looks like Rihanna's telling you who's coming back." And that's what I
Ex-
told my girl. I said, "You might want to wait till halftime because I had a hunch the Chiefs would be down by maybe 14. I thought it would be somewhere between 11 and 14 points they'd be down with the comeback narrative ready to go for baby goat. Because there's a reason they had Brady get his 57th career comeback in that stadium on Christmas.
And it was a great opportunity too, because if if you were on the fence prior to the game, you had an opportunity to jump on the Kansas City Chiefs trailing by 10 at halftime at almost a 3x, 3.5x return on your money. So you kind of could have risked a little bit less to get a greater return. And those are some of the things I've been speaking about going on 3 years now. These live advantageous positions where the risk is kind of like a lot smaller and the return is a lot better, kind of like a in-game parlay, but you're only betting one outcome. And a lot of people were able to take advantage because of the opportunity of Kansas City being down 10 points. So that was awesome. And just speaking a little bit more about that red, I didn't know if you were familiar, but with Arizona, the state's holiday is actually on Valentine's Day, which connects back to red, right?
Sure,
And
yeah,
then
yeah. No, that was
you know
interesting. And that's why I put in my notes because I broke down the kicker before game time too. I was like, I gotta look at the kickers, and then I noticed it was Harrison Butker's 214th day of his age. I was like, look at that! It's his 214th day of his age. Lincoln's 214th birthday. The state's birthday is 214. That seems like that. So other just simple things that I told people in my community. Another reason I like the Chiefs. Each team had a number 57, but the Chiefs player that wore 57, it was 41 days from his birthday, which is the Super Bowl number. The Eagles
yeah,
player didn't have an interesting connection who wore 57. So again, you guys, that's the power of this knowledge because we're using the same patterns every year. In the AFC Conference Championship, what I told you, I was like, it's really hard to imagine that Mahomes doesn't become 10-3 in the playoffs as Mr. State Farm in the 103rd season and pick up his 41st home win to go to the Super Bowl when he's already, shown out with that number in Super Bowls. And we know that's the Super Bowl number. And then again, you got the Celtics picking up their 41st win today. Pistons almost did it for us, the 41. You can't get them all. But again, you have the knowledge. You'll win the majority of your bets. And again, here we are with another winner. So
exactly. And for the history buffs,
here, also, I just want to let you know that there's all kinds of people like this. I'm just going to put up this troll's comment. Zach, shut the fuck up before you didn't predict shit right, bitch. Okay. All right, troll. Again, rewind to August 24th. Anybody can rewind to August 24th, where I showed how Len Dawson's death was perfectly synced with the Super Bowl. I told my whole community, because we did have a future in for the Bills. I said, you better put one in for the Chiefs. because that's a serious connection. That's the quarterback who lost in the first Super Bowl and won Super Bowl 4-1. And again, we've been talking about the potential Andy Reid Bowl for a long time, and you can go back and watch the open free live stream I did when Franco Harris died and said this looks like it could be another sign of the Andy Reid Bowl because Len Dawson had the Chiefs and Steelers connection, and that's another thing they just did. Here's how bad it is, you guys. On the 38th day of the year, in light of how important 38 was to this Super Bowl, 38 Central, things we identified before the game. On the 38th day of the year, CNN did a story about how the Last of Us plot of fungus taking over humans could become a reality. And then Sanjay Gupta said it's already happening. But again, this is a video game. By the way, the video game came out on 14/6. But this is a video game that was just made into an HBO show. And in the show, the week before the Super Bowl, the episode that came out was a shootout in Kansas City. Okay? And we just had a shootout Super Bowl. Another reason to think it was the over. We like the over today. And the episode they released for this weekend, the weekend of the Super Bowl, was about two brothers in Kansas City. Come on, man. With the Kelce brothers Super Bowl. And then what's funny is I've never played the video game. I don't have time to play video games. But anyway, somebody told me that in the video game, instead of it being in Kansas City, it's in Pittsburgh. Those are Len Dawson's teams, Pittsburgh and Kansas City. But The Last of Us is 38. CNN paying tribute to that number. I mean, look at ESPN even with their ticker right now. They got to give you a 38-second story about the Chiefs' 38-point win after the Rihanna 38 Bowl, where, again, Jalen Hurts in his 38th game has 38 passes. So that's how scripted it is, you guys. And it is. It's all – did you see what I was saying about the Cochise song?
No.
So I was doing a live stream in real time because when the Chiefs went up 35-27, they went to commercial break playing Cochise, which is the Audio Slave song about the Native American chief from Arizona, Cochise. There were 62 points in the game, and they just gone up 35-27, and Mahomes had gotten his 35th career playoff touchdown. And again, Patrick Mahomes is also 62, a Native American chief, Cochise. And again, I just looked up. He died on the 159th day of the year, going with the Scottish Rite thing with Super Bowl 57, and Vince Lombardi dead at 57. And then also in real time, they played the Grease commercial when it was tied 35-35, and I said, what are they going to do now? Kick a field goal and have 73 points because the girl from Grease recently died at age 73? Exactly what they did, man. That's how scripted it is for all the people out there that don't get it. People are dying for these games. They're rigged and scripted. They're by the numbers from the same people who control Hollywood to the NFL. It's the cabal. That's where this whole thing comes from. Kabbalah is where this whole code of letters and numbers comes from. That's where the term the cabal comes from. The cabal runs all entertainment. They got it all planned out. Couldn't have scripted it any better.
Definitely. And salute to all the people that that do the work every single day and that have their own opinion and we're able to be on the right side of this game. But so one other thing that I just found out that was kind of like just hilarious is just connecting back to like the 269. So like Valentine's Day, speaking about Arizona, I looked up like the history of Valentine's Day. So it's actually based upon this Saint Valentine. So if you look up the story of Saint Valentine, he actually, well, according to history, he died in the year 269. So I just found that like hilarious, connecting back to the 57 and Andy Reid's 260.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
I just thought that was insanely improbable that would happen like that. So if you look up his let's see.
I mean that's how that again. Like I'm always saying, if you know history, every year they're paying tribute to history, and it should remind you the Roman Catholic Church runs it all. By the way, you guys, Rome equals 57 in days. 57 days after the first Jesuit Pope's birthday. Notice how Rome's also 21 as Mahomes gets 2-1 in Super Bowls, and so is Sunday, and so is Jesuit. But
it's just improbable. It's so improbable that would happen in a lineup like that. It's insane.
Did you see the puppy dog bull clue this morning too?
No, I saw when you just went through it at the beginning of the stream.
Yeah, I put that up on my Twitter for everyone and just trying to clue them in right here. Kansas City's the underdog. Again, you guys, you can pay for the stuff, but I still like to drop clues for all the people that don't even help out. And that was a big clue right there. Nate Robinson reshared that. He said, Super Bowl's over.
Exactly, and that's true too. Like for the people that don't follow the Patreons directly, I also drop some gems and observations on my social networks. So on my Twitter, I actually put out the probably like 8 or 10 hours before the game that referencing one of the things Rambo said in connection to Rihanna and the birthing ritual. You actually had McCall Hardman and I believe Nick Andretti of the Kansas City Chiefs. Both of them actually gave their wives or counterparts gave births to children this morning. So I spoke about that on my Twitter. One of them gave birth to twins and the other one gave birth to a little girl this morning. So Kansas City actually tweeted this out before the game even started. I put that out a couple hours before the game, in connection to some of the things Rambo spoke about and the birth ritual and Rihanna. We have these newborn babies that are being born prior to the like a pre-celebration to Super Bowl 57. That's exactly what happened. So
yeah, for people who don't know, Rambo did predict that Rihanna would be the halftime performer before she was named because she was pregnant and births 57. He nailed that right on. By the way, you know what? I realized I was sleeping on something the whole time. Again, the 57th governor of Missouri has the same birthday as Patrick Mahomes. And I was focused more on it being the 149th day of his age, which is true, but it's also 148 days after Mahomes' birthday and the governor of Missouri's birthday, because they have the same birthday. So 148 days after Mahomes' birthday, Kansas City 148. His team picks up the 122nd road win of the season, improving to 3-2 in Super Bowls. Kansas City has the 67 as well. Doug Williams was 67 years old right now. Joe Montana's in his 67th year of life. That's the 19th prime. You might recall the touchdown by number 19, who was wide open, Tony. But again, look at it. Puppy Bowl 122-67 clue. And then 148 days after Mahomes' birthday, he gets his team to 3-2 in Super Bowls. All the Kansas City numbers factoring into the scripted ritual. So.
Yep, and Eagles numbers and 32 teams in the NFL, in the league, 32 NFL owners. And yeah, man, it's like there was so much that was there in connection with those numbers that we want to look for, like when it connects to championships. And on the surface as well, if you just want to pay attention to like storylines, we know that the NFL historically is a racist league. Arizona being the last state to recognize MLK. Did you really think that they were gonna go with the all-black quarterback over the biracial quarterback when
we talked about that as well.
Mahomes was in a white jersey? They got the symbolism going right there. So, sometimes people just got to step outside their ego. And people love to go against myself and Zach just for the sake of saying, they might be right to be in a position to call us out or say negative things about us, or be in a position to just say I was right and you were wrong. But it's people that just need to wake up and pay attention to these numbers that really matter, as well as the storylines, and just go with the things that are proven, as opposed to letting your ego drive your decision just because you want to make a YouTube video and say that you were right and maybe Zach and myself was wrong, which doesn't happen very often. So good luck with that.
As you say that, somebody joins the stream, and I don't know if it's really them or not, but in case it is really them, I'm gonna give them a chance. We'll know if it's really them because we know their voice.
Sure.
But is this the true Simple Truth TV? Simple Truth TV. Got to unmute the mic. I don't know if it's really him. Could be a troll. Hello? I think it's a troll. It's a troll. Okay. Okay. Predictable. He wouldn't come on here. He's having a bad night. He's on the antidepressants right now. Okay.
Well, yeah, just for everybody who might be new to my work or new to Gematria in general, like there are certain things and synchronicities to pay attention to. And again, Zach releases tons of information on his Twitter. I myself have my own YouTube channel where I put out videos all the time, connecting the work, numbers, and content. And I've been doing this for over 4 years on my own platform. So you could really, really get in tune and be part of a solid community that is was built from the ground up, and so yeah, just happy to be on the right side of history, Zach. So congratulations
Indeed.
once again.
Indeed. Oh, one other one. I don't know if I covered it in this stream or in the last stream, but did you know that the season began 173 days after Andy Reid's birthday?
I did know that, but it was kind of weird because either team could become 17-3. So
The
it
thing
was
for
like,
him though was that's the 40th prime, and if he beat the Eagles, he'd be 4-0, which he did. He did do. So
gotcha. Okay, yeah.
Black Lives Matters 173.
Okay, gotcha. 173, Black Lives Matter. Gotcha. And also like the Kansas City Chiefs, like their first game of the season this year was against Arizona, and
65 points.
exactly. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it was all right there. You know, and again, hindsight is like obviously easier to pay attention to it and kind of like single it out, but they drop these kind of clues every single year, and it's just about sharpening our skills and paying attention. And if you don't have anything productive to bring to the conversation, then just leave it at that, because all the white noise, the gray smoke, and the jealousy and the hatred and all that stuff, there's not really a lot of room for, and this really isn't the community for that. So if that's the only thing that you actually bring, you should just kind of leave it where it's at. That's just how
Indeed. And you should stop claiming to be the best sports decoder when you've never hit a future. You've missed almost every Super Bowl, and you continue to make the work look like an embarrassment day after day. And especially when you're spending time attacking me, who's, brought this to you. I mean, it's just like, instead of trying to make a name for yourself by going against me year after year and losing, it's like you should get on board and be like, you know what? Maybe I should help promote the same message, because he seems to be winning a lot, whereas I'm losing year after year. So,
Yeah, man.
anyway.
Shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs. That's all I gotta say, man. Super Bowl 57. Shout out to them. They did their thing. Live underdog brought home some great profit and ROI for the Gematria community, which is really it's not the main concern, but it's really a priority for people that invest their time and energy into the work. You want to bring home profit, return on your investment, and show progress. So the stories are great. Sometimes even great riddles don't come through, and the stories are just amazing, so you like to hear them and follow them and all that. But at the end of the day, you want to show progress, profit, and production, and across the board, that's really what I hang my hat on. So I really don't fall in love with the stories or being in a position to say I was right and you were wrong. I don't really get off on that, and I don't gain anything from that. That's not why I'm here. And I think that's one of the things that really sets me apart from other people. I don't care about saying somebody was wrong and I was right. It really doesn't matter to me. So
That's a good attitude to have. Indeed.
yeah,
Indeed.
man. Yeah, we've been you've been here way longer than me, Zach, and I already feel like I've been here too long at this point with the amount of work and the games that we got under our belt. To even when you get something right and somebody's incorrect, I mean, do you really gain anything from that? I'm sure at this point you don't. It's just another notch on the belt, another thing to add to the resume, and you wake up tomorrow and try to do the same thing. So
Indeed. Indeed. And for my hater channel out there that keeps uploading videos only when I'm wrong, that person's so annoying. It's just like, oh, Zach's Bills future failed. It's like, okay, but you were in my live stream, and what did I tell everybody that day? I said, if you have a future in for the Bills, take the Bengals today, because we're worried about the Bills. The Bengals did look better for the game where they beat the Bills. And again, I give my people good advice. Like I said, if you got 100 down on the Bills' future, put 100 down on the Bengals today, because they pay 160. They got the better narrative. And if the Bills get by, you can still make money on your Bills' future. But again, year after year where my futures look like they might fail, I usually identify the spot and we get the money back. And it's just annoying that there's losers in the world making all these bullshit ass videos. It's just like we had a great weekend, the weekend of the college playoffs. We hit on TCU upsetting Michigan all day, 131 championships. Again, you guys notice how championships 131? Notice how Super Bowl's 131? When you write out 57, even it's 131. But go back and check the TCU, Michigan outcome, both teams became 13-1, and that was a nice payout because TCU was a 13. I think they were a 13.5 point underdog, if I remember right. But again, just like today, for the Super Bowl, Kelce's on his 131st day of his age, coming in with 131 receptions on the year. Next thing you know, Mahomes winning the Super Bowl with 131 passer rating. And by the way, even in basketball today, go look at the basketball today. The Memphis coach stayed on 131 wins, and Boston got their 41st win today. I mean, just like, what are the odds of that? And just there's only 2 games scheduled in the league today. That was the more symbolic game because Celtics has the 118 and it was the 118th day of the season. But yeah, they're playing and winning in green. They just lost the championship in green. We've been talking about green all year. It's funny. There's a video online making fun of what I was saying about green in 49. And again, here we are having that knowledge and hitting on some nice prop bets today with Jalen Hurts and Mahomes understanding this connection with green in 49 and Eagles. But yeah, the haters of this work and the people who make fun of it, they're literally the definition of losers. They're making fun of something they don't understand and something that could be helping their life out in more ways than one. And meanwhile, we're here teaching the knowledge most of the time for free, and people can be sucking it up and benefiting from it. And then meanwhile, some people will come here and be like, oh, it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And it's just because their IQ is too low of a threshold to understand what we're putting out over here. So,
and Zach, what's one of the things that you've been speaking about and we've come to like realize in connection with black quarterbacks and winning the Super Bowl? Like, what's that
Native
one
American team? That was the big thing I kept harping on about too. That the Eagle. So they had Jalen Hurts recently go to the Syracuse basketball game. Who went to Syracuse? Donovan McNabb. What Super Bowl did he lose? 39 when Andy Reid was the Eagles coach. That was another big clue today because Arizona's 39, Glendale's 39. And just like how the Eagles lost Super Bowl 39, now they've lost in Arizona. And again, why is Jalen Hurts at a Syracuse Orange basketball game when it's Donovan McNabb's school? Again, these are the things they do, the rituals, and it's almost like I think it's the way that they communicate about what the rigged outcome is for the people with eyes to see, which isn't really supposed to be people like me and Vic. It's like we learned the code that these people are working by, but I feel like these are the types of things they do for the other mega billionaires and the people in the cabal. Like, oh, I see what they're doing, sending Jalen Hurts to the Syracuse game and making a national headline about that. I'm betting on the Chiefs. So
I'm sure a lot of Philadelphia Eagles backers right now are really, really hurting. So it's kind of symbolic.
Yeah, and Mark Passio in Philadelphia should be spreading this knowledge to his community, like I've been asking him to for the last decade. And he probably would have reached a lot of people in Philly. They probably would have took advantage today. Instead, he's in his bedroom asking for you to send him a new iMac, talking about the same shit he talks about every week. No time for Gematria. You guys can go back and listen to him where I was talking about Philadelphia and Philadelphia sports by the numbers. It's like a podcast from 3 years ago. He had me on for 5 minutes. But
it's a shame. It's a real shame, Zach. But I appreciate your continued effort, and I appreciate the people that support you and support myself. And yeah, man, I'll leave it at that because I don't want to give the negativity and the bozos too much energy because that's really what they live for. So I'll get out of here and I'll enjoy the rest of my night celebrating.
All right, congrats on the W's, Vic. Keep it up, man. Mr. Futures, you guys. Mr. Futures, no spaces. Give him a sub at YouTube. Mr. Futures.
Appreciate you, brother. Have a good night, all right?
All right, take care, Vic. All right. Vic chalking up another W. What's up, Tony?
Hey, what's up, Zach? I got 3 quick points I'm gonna hit you with. I forgot to tell you on the last screen. Yeah, hold on. I've been on for hold. Let me get my thoughts together. What was it? Oh yeah, about the Rambo. You know, Rambo did that post 7 months ago, what did he title it? Rebirth. And she was pregnant. She already had the child then, right? It was about some statue they did with her pregnant. And when she come out in the Super Bowl, pregnant. Yeah. And then I didn't know. And Mr. Future was talking about that two players had the babies too.
Hold on. Just about Rihanna. Her and ASAP Rocky are both 34 years old. Again, we stayed on 34 QBs have ever won the Super Bowl. Black 34, Mahomes 34, Lincoln 34. Mm-hmm. her and ASAP Rocky are the married couple. She's pregnant with his child. Look at what day ASAP Rocky's birthday is. October 3rd, 10-3 to go with the 103rd season ending in State Farm Arena. And again, Rihanna missed 38. And ESPN, the game's so 38, ESPN's even got to give you a 38-second story about it. So.
But so Rambo did that. Dude, I was like, what? Before the season even started, right? I was like, this 7 months from now is what? Like August, July?
It was a long time ago that he said Rihanna would be the halftime performer. He was dead on.
But it's the way he just said it that she's gonna be the performer. He said he called it a rebirth ritual. A birthing ritual. That's what he called it, right? A birthing ritual.
Yeah, and because birth is 57 to go with Super Bowl 57. That's what he saw. He saw a few things with Rihanna, including her being pregnant, and he said it would make perfect sense if she was the Super Bowl 57 halftime performer. So.
But it is crazy that she came out pregnant again. That's the crazy part about it. It was the ritual for the first baby, and she come out with another baby.
Yeah.
And then you had the two Chiefs players had the babies.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed.
And another thing about that video he did, he talked about the Buffalo Bills. Even though the Buffalo Bills were in it, it still was Buffalo about the Mar Hamlin because they had with the award ceremony with the Mar Hamlin in it. So that's the Buffalo Bill part of it too. Because he was dead on the field and they brought him back to life. They said, right?
And Hamlin's another 57. 57-30, just like birth. Actually,
so the Buffalo Bills was a part of the Dawn Super Bowl with him.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he died on the field. They brought him back to life, and Rihanna pregnant.
Were the Bills and the Chiefs, and they were both used as rituals in the Super Bowl. So I mean, the thought wasn't all wrong.
And Cincinnati, because it happened in Cincinnati. Because you were just talking about what you said about. I forgot you said something about Cincinnati. You talked about something about Cincinnati.
The Kelce brothers both.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when the season started, you said 3 teams would be the Bengals, the Buffalo, and Kansas City. So if you took your advice, put 100 on each one of them, you came out of the box.
We did rank the Bengals as the third AFC team for the Super Bowl, but I wasn't crazy. I said, we'll watch to see if they're worth the future. The Bills were the other team, not the Bills. The Bucks were the other team we put a future on because Brady had that whole.
Oh, the Bucks. Oh, yeah, I forgot the Bucks. Yeah, the Bucks.
Yeah, Brady. I know it was just like if Brady had stayed away, I swear to God, we would have had them both right this year. But Brady confused us with this whole 83 ritual when he came back with his chance to get to 8-3. So.
And one more point I want to make on TFR on Wednesday, the caller from Philadelphia, he said that it always be a fumble in the Philly game or something. You remember that call?
Yeah, he did.
It was crazy. He said that. I was thinking about that. I was thinking about his call when he fumbled the ball. He said Philly always have some type of fumble or something crazy happen. I didn't understand what he was saying. And when I seen that, look at it. I said that he must have seen some bullshit in his time watching this team.
I love how he fumbled right to 32. Kansas City 32, Chiefs 32, NFL 32 teams. They become 3-2 in Super Bowls.
So that's crazy. And that's it. And my third point is I got to go out. I'm just off topic, but Hollywood, I don't know how he be doing the golf. I don't know how, because the golf was in Phoenix. The Waste managed. He done hit back-to-back golf winners. And no odds be like plus 700, plus 900, plus. Yes, he won.
Scheffler won it again. Okay. Interesting. Last year, you guys, Scheffler went to the same high school as Stafford. Last year, he won this tournament, and then 56 days later, he won the Masters, like how Stafford won Super Bowl 56. So 2 years in a row, Scheffler takes it. Okay. Justin Thomas.
So give Bali his props right there. Mm-hmm.
Oh, did Bali
so you gotta give Bali his props.
Bali like Scheffler.
Yeah, he did a post. I'm not subscribed to his Patreon, but I think I'm gonna join his Patreon pretty soon because he be killing the golf.
He does well with golf.
I don't know how he do it. He be killing the golf.
Yeah, he's good at digging up the.
But it was crazy that tournament was in Arizona while the Super Bowl was going on. So,
and PGA equals 57 too. So,
oh yeah. And one more thing I want to bring up: Tiger Woods is playing in the Genesis tournament that's coming up. And you remember the last time he was supposed to play, what happened?
The car crash that nobody saw.
Yeah, since we having all this GOAT talk.
That was on the 54th day of the year. People forget. Tiger Woods injured in the car crash that nobody saw on the 54th day of the year. Okay.
Yeah, so let's keep a note there. And he played in that Genesis tournament. So I just wanted you make a note of that. So I just want to give props to Barley and Mr. Futures for the work they do.
All right.
You follow those guys, I think you'll be profitable.
Indeed. All right, man. Appreciate it.
Okay.
All right. Have a good night. Thank you. Okay. What's up, Seffi?
Oh, hey, I think I got next year's Super Bowl. I think the Chiefs will be back. I'm pretty sure a lot of us can agree with that. The Chiefs will be back. I think they're gonna face the New York Giants. They're gonna go over because it's on the 42nd day. They can get to 4-2. The Giants can fall to 4-2 in Super Bowls. New York Giants equals 181. That's the 42nd prime. Kansas City Chiefs equals 64. So is New York Giants. The Chiefs' 64th season, and the Giants, they've scored 104, and there's been 104 points scored against them in the Super Bowl. Of course, it's the 104th season. And I had something else. Give me a minute. Chiefs equals 112. That's my
Where is Super Bowl 58?
Vegas, Las Vegas.
Vegas.
Oh, and another thing, Andy Reid can get his 25th playoff win if the Chiefs are the 1 seed.
Say it again about Andy Reid.
He can get his 25th playoff win if they're the 1 seed.
If they're the 1 seed, yeah, he would get his 25th. And I see what you're saying, just because Giants have that strong connection with 25. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the Chiefs will be back. I'm thinking they might win the next 2 Super Bowls in three-peat, but we'll see.
I could see Mahomes getting to 4-1 in Super Bowls. So.
Yeah. But anyway, I just want to put that out there. This game was frustrating to watch. But yeah.
All right, next Super Bowl on the 42nd day of the year. Chiefs trying to get to 4-2 in Super Bowls. Every Mahomes Super Bowl's had a 42 connection. This year it was Arizona 42 land. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Again, if Mahomes and the AFC win, they're going to tie it up at 29-29. Mahomes likes that number.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Let's go out to Bamboo Soldier. What's up, Bamboo?
Hey, what's up, Zach? How you doing?
Yeah, what's up?
Not much. Just wanted to say, first of all, I think it's pretty cool how you did that stream. I would like to recommend maybe like for future, maybe you can do the NBA Finals, kind of like a live reaction. I don't know. It's a good way to kind of like get people involved and kind of see how it's going on in real time. I don't know. I thought it was productive. And these streams I kind of like a lot because like I can check them out and do numbers in real time, just on the surface and see what pops up. And you can see so many things pop up all the time, just like tonight, so many things just working, checking out the numbers and it's like right in your face all the time. We have a lot of numbers.
The problem is if I watch the NBA, that's what I sound like. Carry, travel, carry. I can't stand watching the NBA. It's just
I know. I mean,
these guys can't even dribble the ball anymore. Can we get some basketball players that can dribble the ball without carrying? I hate how they don't cut. It's just I'm so annoying.
I know. It is frustrating too. I know that, and like I know, maybe you're, well, people have had audio issues maybe tonight, but I mean, it's just trying to follow it and see what you want to say, and like I don't know. I think it's a good thing because we had a lot of people in the chat tonight, and it's really cool. Big up to everybody that was coming around and hanging out and checking the stream.
Again, for people who don't know, because I'm streaming on Gematria Effect Sports and News, Gematria Effect Sports has been suspended the last 2 weeks. The suspension just ended. So I would have done the stream on sports too, but the channel was still saying it was suspended. It wouldn't let me start a stream on there. So anyway, the suspension ended after the Super Bowl. Go figure. And again, you guys go over to Gematria Effect News 25.
Check out those other channels. You gotta you can't rely on the YouTube notifications. Just keep refreshing your streams and your feed to be sure to catch what Zach is doing, because of course YouTube is throttling all of this stuff. You should have 10,000, 20,000 people in your streams. I mean,
well, we were doing well after Super Bowl 55. The stream was up to 6,000 people when they cut it off. Then I had trouble logging on for like 24 hours. So
okay, well, just some surface numbers. Maybe I can just shout out real quick. There's a lot of 57s. You've been talking about a lot of 57s. 131 was the passer rating of Pat Mahomes. You type that in, you get a 57. What else? Spy balloon is 57, or spy balloons with the S at the end. That's a 57. 42 as well. St. Valentine's 57, Missouri's 57, puppy football is 57. They had that commercial in our face.
Again, you guys, this was the ultimate clue they dropped this morning about who was winning the Super Bowl. They did it with the Puppy Bowl.
Right.
Again, you guys better follow me on Twitter, man. 13 hours ago.
122.
Kansas
I
City
bet you 122 probably has some 57 on or something.
And think how perfect it is. On 12/2 the date, Kansas City gets the 122nd road win of the year for the entire league.
Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of commercials too. Like there's just like numbers in our face. They had one commercial early on. I think it was showing. I forgot what it was for, but it was some babies, some young kids getting married and stuff. And I don't know. I just put in what was it? Baby marriage, and you got a 201. 33s all over, of course. I don't know. Just I'm kind of scrambled because I had some notes, but I'm just like kind of doing it at the top of my head. Anyways, the numbers are totally in front of our face, and that's just a kind of some example of some of it. Red and white, which Rihanna had, that's a 57. You type red and white in, that's a 57.
And the Chiefs colors.
Yeah, Chiefs colors. And I kind of feel like in a way it might have been maybe like a tribute to Geronimo, and I think tribute to Geronimo. It's just I had it somewhere. Damn it! Sorry, I'm a little bit disorganized. I don't know. I think there was an 83 with that as well, but I don't know. Just in our face and stuff all the time, especially with the 57s and 73. They scored 73 points on the date where you type in February 12th, you get a 73. Just on and on and on. I'm not too prepared. I kind of got caught off guard. I was on hold for a little bit. So anyways,
just remind people again, all the 57s. The Chiefs owner, 57 years old. Len Dawson, dead at the start of the year, drafted in 57. The governor of Missouri is the 57th governor of the state, has the same birthday as Mahomes, September 17th, which is also the day the NFL was founded. Andy Reid got his 269th win, the 57th prime. Again, only black quarterbacks win on the Native American teams. And right after the Super Bowl was set, Bobby Hull, who joined the NHL in 57 and played for the Blackhawks, Native Americans, died. And again, that's those were all of the major signs that this was the Chiefs Super Bowl. They had all of the 57s on their side. They were just hoarding all the 57s, and the Eagles had no 57s.
Yeah. One other one, it seems like maybe a slight Geronimo tribute. Of course, we know Skull and Bones are attributed to stealing
I think it was
his bones.
Cochise. Again, I think it was about Cochise.
Okay. I
They
typed
played the Cochise song
yeah,
right after they went up 35-27. I think that's what it was
Cochise, yeah.
about.
Man, yeah. But you type in Geronimo tribute, you get 191 and 83. Of course, 83 like football, and 191 like society. Jesus is,
Actually, you know what? Actually,
I don't
you're
know.
probably right. Geronimo probably is part of it because the Skull and
He's
Bones
got to
stole
be right.
Geronimo's skull, and it's the day leaving
And it's like a
322.
tribute back to him. I kind of feel like in a way, since the Chiefs kind of won it back supposedly. So maybe they feel like, oh, we have less guilt. Maybe we can grant this to this for this year, and maybe be okay with the gods for this. I don't know, but that's how sick they are. You know. I
I
just
think it's well,
appreciate
it's paying tribute to all the things they did. So
I appreciate all the knowledge you bring out, man, and like I really like this stream. You know, I mean, I know it's not really maybe realistic for you to do like something like this for the NBA Finals, but I don't know, maybe it might be more beneficial than not, because a lot of people come into these chats when like tonight, and because we know how many people are controlled and brainwashed by the NFL or sports in general, especially the Super Bowl. But I don't know. I thought it was very beneficial, and it's fun to follow it with you and see your real time reactions.
sure, yeah, I
Yeah,
can do that for the people have asked that in the past for me to do the NBA Finals. I mean, it would be more than one night, obviously, because it's a series, first person to win 4 games.
right.
Um,
And there's a lot of time to work up to it and think about. So I mean, just something to
but
think about.
but yeah, I can do at least some of the games this year. So
Cool.
appreciate it. Thank you,
Also,
Bamboo.
real quick
Go
though,
ahead.
like the commercials were on our face though. Like, remember the 33 one? Her number was 33. That the female flag football player.
Oh, the Mexico girl.
33.
Yeah,
Flores is
33 from
33. Mexico is
Mexico.
33. Mexican is 33. I mean, it's just like
What
on
was her name
Sunday.
again? Her name also equaled 33, but I forget. Oh, it's
Flores.
Flores. Flores 33.
Flores.
Almost,
Yeah, not
you know what
Flores.
else? Flores was 75, like how Mahomes got his 75th win. And
Right.
Len
Well,
Dawson got
I didn't
75,
know that, but like,
87 number all over the game.
right. That's in our face on Sunday. Sunday is 33.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
on and on and on. But
The game winner was
yeah,
a 33-yard field goal, wasn't it?
right.
Final field goal was 34
Well,
yards. Let me go back and double check.
I know they had one 33-yard field goal.
Was the game winner by Butker on his 214th day of his age on Lincoln's 214th birthday at 33 yards? Where was it?
There is one thing I would like to say right after this, though. But yeah, the 33s were all over. We know that a member of De La Soul, the hip hop group, passed away. As they say he died at 54 years old. His name was his stage name was what am I I had it written down. What was his stage name? I'm 1 second.
By the way, you guys, you see this sub story about how Patrick Mahomes following the groundwork laid by Brady. Mahomes beat Brady. I covered this. This was a free post back in October. I covered where Mahomes beat Brady with 41 points, the Super Bowl number. And that same night, the Native American woman, Sasheen Littlefeather, died at 75. And she had all these 75s connected to her. And now Mahomes wins the Super Bowl, the 41 event. Here, I'll pull up the post right here about Littlefeather. Because, again, these are things we were looking at all year. That's why all year we knew that the Chiefs were worth the future, which we put in before the season began. Again, all the haters can hate all they want, but go back and look at the evidence. I advised it on August 24th, the day Len Dawson died. But here, Sasheen Littlefeather. She died here. She died on the day leaving 90 days left in the year, Native American 90. They ended up playing the Eagles in their 90th season. It was during Brady's 322nd regular game. Here's the Super Bowl on the day leaving 322 days left in the year. It came 322 days after her birthday.
322nd days ago the year. Crazy.
And here, again, she was 75 years old from the town of Salinas, which equals 75. Littlefeather. Her last name, Littlefeather, 75. And Oh yeah, Mahomes is 27 years old. The final field goal was 27
Ooh,
yards. Like Ritual's
ritual,
27.
big ritual right there, right?
Yeah,
Reverse
27
Jesuit
yarder for
order
20.
stuff in our
Yeah,
face. Those
yeah.
45s and 72s were all over the place, or 45s and 54s as well. I
But yeah,
think.
Mahomes just got his 75th career win, and no doubt about it, she died the same day Mahomes beat Brady with 41 points. So
Was gonna say like that's what it was. It was Trugoy the Dove was his stage name, but he apparently passed away. They announced it today. He was from De La Soul, the hip hop group. He
yeah,
died at 54. They say he also died 54 and he died 144 days after his last birthday, and also he died
look at that.
54.
Look
He
at
was
what it says.
54 years and 144 days old.
It says the group's
Oh,
origin
jeez.
is in 87 in Amityville, New York, with how much 87's all over the game.
Wow.
So
87. Where do we get that?
um
87. Yeah, so they definitely did with that De La Soul hip hop guy that passed away. Definitely, the numbers are all in it. It's
and
in
he's
their
dead at
face.
54. What Super Bowl did Mahomes first win?
It was 54. Oh wow,
Yeah. Jesuit
wow,
order 54.
right in
Sun
our
54
face.
dead on a Sunday.
I mean,
Uh,
I was just seeing with the date, like I mean, I know you see it so fast, but like for me, like I'm still learning as much as I can. I'm like trying to be
Look at this.
sharp and
He's
stuff.
born on the day, leaving 103 days left in the year. 103rd NFL season.
103rd NFL season. Wow. Ritual 27. Yeah, it's just right in their face though with like that. Cause I checked this when I first heard that he passed away. I checked it out and just like seeing the surface numbers on the dates and 54 years, 144 days old. I mean, right in their face. And then 144 days after his last birthday, which was September 21st, as they
Or hold
say.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on. My bad, you guys. My bad. I did bad math. Never mind. He's born on the day, leaving 101 days left in the year. Philadelphia is 101, the team that died today. But that also means he's dead 144 days after his birthday at age
Right.
54. Jesuit order.
Blatant.
144.54.
Blatant. And Murder Music is 144.54. I forgot to mention that.
That's
I'm
the
glad I
Eminem
remembered.
thing.
Murder Music, 2 words, 144.54. But that's what it is. It's
Or no,
Murder Music.
that's the Snoop Dogg thing, right?
I'm not sure the Snoop Dogg on that, but I just know Murder Music.
Murder Music was like a Snoop Dogg thing that he put out right after his mom died. And then
Maybe it was.
Eminem
but-
has the Music to Murder by thing.
Probably 144.54, 153.72.
Yeah, we covered that when that came out because it was right about the same time Snoop Dogg's mom died.
But that's what it is, though. Like, it's sick. It's all revolving. It's all connected with these rituals. And I'd appreciated how you bring it together. And I appreciated the Super Bowl stream.
With the, hold up. With regards to the 144, I see what they did here. The Super Bowl was in Glendale, Arizona today, which is 144 land. Glendale, Arizona is 144. So he's dead 144 days after his birthday.
Wow.
And then look at his name. His name, what's wrong with me? His name.
Yeah, that's an interesting name.
Not counting his middle name, David Jolasar. Look at his name, 148.67. Again, the Super Bowl was 148 days after Mahomes' birthday. Kansas City 148.67. So
Blood sacrifice 67.
Born on the day, leaving 101 days left in the year, so he has the connection to Philly. And in his name, he has the connection to Kansas City. He's dead the day of the Philadelphia Kansas City Super Bowl.
See, that's great. Like, you can even take it even further. I was just seeing some of the surface stuff, but like, yeah, 67 blood sacrifice, but then it's just blatant as F, you know, these evil mofos. But yeah, thanks for taking my thanks for taking my call, man. Appreciate it. And I always appreciate the knowledge. I'm trying to learn here and there, you know, and share your work whenever I can. And everybody in the community, keep doing what you do. Try to stay positive. Let's not let the the little stuff divide us, because we have no chance unless we just get over the BS. But the numbers don't lie,
Indeed.
no doubt.
Indeed.
And all you trolls, show your face or STFFU.
Yeah, exactly. That little loser troll who doesn't show his face or
Yeah,
anything.
I just
Making
told him right
videos
there, like,
about
show
me
your face,
slandering.
man.
You are the biggest
Little
punk
baby.
loser bitch there ever was. Oh, another losing week. It's like, you mean it was another winning week?
Weak as fuck,
Fucking
man.
loser. And he's like, I'm only doing it to keep you honest. It's like you're not doing anything honest. You're just
Not
totally
doing anything.
slandering and misrepresenting and full of shit. He's probably going to upload a video about what a terrible Super Bowl we had. Meanwhile, everyone in reality made a bunch of money. So
Meanwhile, all he did was just record your videos, and he wouldn't be shit. Or people like that wouldn't be shit without your work. And remember that you got to look in the mirror, you little punks, and wake the F up. Show your face or just shut up. Because
exactly. That's the
yeah.
problem with the internet. It's the perfect place for little bitches that hide
It
behind
is.
the computer. So
You could be a little bitch, but still show your face and stuff and be a man. But I guess these people are a little, I don't know. Anyways, keep up the good work. Appreciate the stream, and I'll talk to you guys. I'll talk to you soon, Zach. I'll be in the chat.
all right. Thanks, Bamboo.
Yeah, no problem. Peace.
But yeah, you guys, there's Mahomes, 75th career win. Again, Dawson retired in 75. Kobe equals 75. Sasheen Little Feather dead at 75 the day he beats Brady as baby goat. And now, again, always with the championships, people dead in the world of entertainment, perfectly connected. You got an ESPN guy dead today after 33 years with the network. And you got the De La Soul rapper. And I'm trying to remember their big song, what it's called. I can't think of the name of it right now, but I'm sure it's connected. What's up, Darren?
Razor blades in the bathtub. That's the solution.
Okay. Troll Darren. Yeah, that clip that you think's funny, I'm talking about people like you. Bathtub and razor blades. I'll say it again. Save the clip, remember it, and then put it into practice. One less fucking loser in the world. No loss. What's up, Xander? Xander. All right, back to Zoolander. Open up. Open up's back.
Yeah, I forgot to mention. I know you're kind of against going on different platforms because it's harder to get people in there. But there is a new platform that's been out for like 2 weeks now. It's called Kick. And I was on there, and there's people, they allow you to watch the game on stream. So you could show your reactions, things like that. So that might be like a suggestion for the future in case. I know it'd be hard to get like people to go over there, but just a suggestion I wanted you to hear.
What's the name of the platform again?
Kick.com, Kick.
Kick.com. Okay. I'll check it out.
It's like Twitch because there was a Twitch streamer who used to stream gambling and they canceled gambling on there. So he created his own platform and you can gamble, you can watch games, you can do all types of stuff on there without the censorship.
I see. All right. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Peace.
All right. Later. De La Soul put out their first album in 89. And didn't I just see that De La Soul equals 89? Again, that's the 11th Fibonacci number. Black's 11. Doug Williams' birthday is 8-9. Mahomes had 89 passing yards at the half, which we talked about. 1-2-7 in De La Soul. Again, Andy Reid got to 12-7 in the playoffs with the Chiefs. And by the way, just again, where Scottish Rite's 57, Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, the full title is 127. So Reid gets 12-7 in the playoffs with the Chiefs. Of course, he got his 22nd playoff win total between his years with the Chiefs and Eagles over the Eagles, getting to 2-2 in Super Bowls. As Mahomes became 11-3 in the playoffs, as Mahomes got his 227th career passing touchdown, which we just loved. He needed 3 to do it, the 49th prime. But yeah, that's too bad about the De La Soul rapper. But that's what goes on every year. The championships roll around and the deaths just come in. They put out their last album August 26, 2016. Last album on the 26th. De La Soul 26. Yeah, according to the little Google box thing in the corner, it says that they were formed as a group in 87. Huge number with the Super Bowl. Again, the year that first black quarterback ever won the Super Bowl, Doug Williams. All right, let's see. If anybody else wants to join the stream, I'll put out the link one more time. If not, you guys can go over to Gematria Effect News 25. If you're up for it, you can watch the live Super Bowl breakdown. Did that on Gematria Effect News 25. I would have done it on Gematria Effect Sports, but I've been suspended for the last 2 weeks. They suspended me right before the conference championships. That's why you didn't hear it all from me during the conference championships. And you guys, I mean, that's the deliberate censorship. They blocked me for those 2 weeks, so I couldn't say anything about the Super Bowl, which hurt me a lot because that's when I get the majority of people to sign up for Patreon each year, right before the Super Bowl. And it's too bad I didn't get a lot more people to sign up because they would have made a lot more money. So again, by blocking my financial interests, they help preserve Vegas's financial interests. Ro, you just joined the stream and then you just closed off all your stuff, but you're welcome to come back. N201, what's up?
Yo, what's up, man? In that Syracuse game that Jalen Hurts went to, Virginia won with 67 points to go with Kansas City 67.
Yeah, we were looking at that. We went back and looked at that box score too. Yeah, exactly.
We were looking at that, and Syracuse fell to 13-10, like 131.
Right.
And
the college basketball yesterday with Kansas beating Oklahoma, Jalen Hurts' last school, and then Mahomes, Texas Tech playing Kansas State, and then the Kansas State falling to 7-5 in the conference right before he got his 75th win. Every year we're talking about the same stuff. College basketball synced up with the NFL, how it's all rigged. For all you guys who can't wrap your minds around it, you better wrap your mind around it because every year we're hitting huge underdogs in March Madness with the rigged tournament.
We know about 19-year cycles, right? And Joe Montana is in his 67th year of life. White jerseys in the Super Bowl have won 16 out of the last 19.
There's a Joe Montana jersey, 16-19.
Right, and another way you can say that is white jerseys are 16-3 in the last 19, and it's 163 years since Lincoln was elected.
Right. Yep.
They get it both ways. Like the script is so on lock that they get it both ways. It's like the 16 out of the last 19 matters because that's Joe Montana's numbers, but also the 16-3 matters too. It's like they have it so on lock. And yeah, when I seen Jalen Hurts was at the Syracuse game, and what's also funny is Jalen Hurts is from Houston, Texas, and Houston, Texas equals 181, the 42nd prime. But it was Reid's 181st game with the Chiefs. And also that 2022, like 222, because we know that the 222 was huge the last time the Chiefs won the Super Bowl.
Right.
Because it was 222 weeks after the Royals. And that whole thing. But, yeah, it's undeniable. The fumble, because fumble's 103, and it's the 103rd NFL season. The fumble returned for a touchdown by number 32.
Yeah.
His birthday is 10-3.
Oh, number 32's birthday is 10-3?
Yeah. His birthday's 10-3. And,
oh, yeah, March 10th. There we go. 10-3. Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah. The huge penalty on James Bradbury to give the Chiefs another chance. James Bradbury's birthday is 8-4 like Arizona, and his 8-4 birthday has 105 date numerology like Arizona too. But going back to Jalen Hurts at Syracuse equals 105, and like Arizona, and yeah, just James Bradbury's 105 date numerology birthday. It's just, they have the script so perfect. It's just amazing. It really is. It's amazing.
Indeed. Number 32 is the Chiefs get 3-2 in Super Bowls.
Yeah, and since the Super Bowl next year's on the 42nd day of the year.
Hey, by the way, he played at Missouri. Okay, that's perfect.
Oh, Missouri's 57-42.
Right. Yeah. Perfect.
The Nick Bolton. No, so number 32. The caller earlier was talking about how next year he likes the Chiefs to get back. Well, here's something to give that some credence, because number 32, who returned the touchdown, he was the 58th pick in the draft. The 58th pick in the draft, Nick Bolton. And
look at everything. Nicholas Bolton, 75. Mahomes gets a 75th win, 159 against Scottish Rite, 57, 159. We're talking about Cochise died on the 159th day of the year. Nick Bolton, if you shorten it up, 43, like the 43rd day of the year he does it on. So,
yeah, and the 58th pick in the draft, so that could signal that the Chiefs, they're going to be back in Super Bowl 58.
again,
But you know how 42 and 30 always come together? The thing that I'm liking next year, perhaps, is the NFC getting to 30 NFC Super Bowl wins on the 42nd day of the year. But the double 29 is enticing, too. The double 29 is enticing. So we'll see.
yeah,
But
we'll have time
yeah,
to figure it out.
this knowledge is just, it is legendary.
Isn't it amazing how so many people reject it? It's like, how can you possibly reject what we're showing every year? I mean, every year we're talking about the same points: college basketball, halftime singer, scripted rituals, celebrity deaths, and it just lines up year after year. I mean, next year it'll be the same thing. We'll be talking about the same types of things next year. How the game
Exactly.
with halftime singer.
Yeah, 131 in championships. It's like 57 equaling 131. That was a big one. That 57 equals 131. But just, oh man, the Puppy Bowl and like the 67 122. It's just a reason why Mahomes could be 4-1 in Super Bowls is because his birthday is 179.
Exactly.
Yeah, and what also makes, and Super Bowls 41 and 179 is the 41st prime. But why he's connected to Kobe Bryant, it's because Kobe Bryant's 41 and Mahomes' birthday is 17-9. It seems like they're trying to make Mahomes the Kobe Bryant of the NFL.
Well, exactly, and that was the point I kept making. Kobe's death was connected to Mahomes, so even though Philly's in it, again, Philly didn't win the Super Bowl right after Mahomes or right after Kobe died, and yeah, Mahomes is like the new mega star of the league, so he's
Right.
he's to be the biggest athlete of them all.
Yeah, and one more big thing was that didn't Hurts get his 13th? Hurts and the Eagles coach got their 13th loss, right? Wasn't there a 13? But
Who got the 13?
I think Hurts picked up his 13th loss. But
it was his 38th game, and he stayed on 25 wins. So yeah, he became 25-13.
Right, and 13's the 6th prime, and KC became 6-4. KC got their 6th win versus the
Andy
Eagles
Reid,
all time.
every year we're talking about Kansas City in 64. Andy Reid, 64 years old, and the Chiefs became 6-4 versus the Eagles.
Yeah, and 41 breaks down to 6 with 13 in the middle. So that was perfect. But all right, yeah, that's pretty much all I have, Zach. And yeah, the knowledge is just straight legendary, and it's just amazing. Shout out to everyone in the community. The Eagles, man, I didn't think they had any shot, and apparently they didn't. But all right, Zach, have a good night, man.
All right, man. Have a good one. All right, let's go out to Sam. What's up, Sam? Sam.
Your predictions are nowhere near Nostradamus.
Okay, another troll. Xander. Who's got the trolls on tonight?
Can you hear me?
Xander.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, what's up?
Did you ever go over the fact that when you type out the Andy Reid Bowl, it equals 75 in the most pure cipher?
That's funny. I didn't realize that. We were calling it that. I never decoded it. But the Andy
Mahomes'
Reid Bowl,
75th win.
hilarious. It's funny. It's also 165 like Scottish Rite. That's funny.
Yeah, Scottish, right?
The Andy Reid
103,
Bowl.
113.
Yeah, and Scottish is 113, right? It's Mahomes comes 11-3, right?
There was a shooting actually in Kansas today on the 5400 block on 54th Street.
5400 block, 54th Street, as they win their first Super Bowl since Super Bowl 54. They were putting up 54 a lot during the game, so I think that was another clue.
Yeah, and they also said two people there was two shooters. Two shooters, like Mahomes just went 2-0 against the Eagles.
Two shooters. How about that? Okay. Goes with the shootout in Kansas City and Last of Us. All right.
But yeah, this was I'm 209. I'm the one who called in a couple
Oh,
times.
by the way, Jimmy Johnson interviewed Andy Reid before the game, and Andy Reid goes, "So you win this one, you're gonna retire?" And he goes, "Ah." And Jimmy Johnson goes, "Well, why would you stay around?" He goes, "Well, to win some more Super Bowls." Jimmy Johnson's like, "Oh, okay." So yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they'll probably be back there.
I think my favorite highlight of the whole COVID pandemic was Andy Reid with his plastic face mask on, all fogged up on the sideline. Anyway,
a joke, man.
Yeah, Fat Andy, Big Red.
And do you know 57 when you write it out equals 50, just like Chiefs equals 50?
Hold on. What? Say it again.
57.
Awesome.
It equals 50.
Oh yeah,
in the most
and
pure.
139 to 34th prime. We had about 34s all over, and 49 factored in with the touchdowns. Hold on, let me check the Gematria Mormon. Mormon also 34. Mormon 29. Andy Reid's a Mormon. Does
Mahomes,
the Mormon
29.
coach tie it up at 29 apiece between the conferences?
With Mahomes 29.
Exactly.
The 10th meeting between the Eagles and Chiefs, the 29 to 10th prime.
Yeah. Indeed.
Keeping the division on 29 wins.
Indeed.
It was all there. The 113, 3 years and 11 days from Mahomes' first Super Bowl win.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Indeed.
I don't want to take up any of your more time. Thanks for the knowledge, man. Like, this is literally the greatest knowledge that anyone's ever given me. Everyone was trying to tell me the Eagles were going to win. I went to 2 straight parties before the Super Bowl because it was my cousin's 20th and my other cousin's 21st birthday. Everyone was talking to me about the Super Bowl because they know that I'm into numbers with gematria. I try to expose it to them, you know? Everyone was on the Eagles. But I told them the Chiefs, man, just because of the 113 Kobe connection. Kobe dead 1,113 days to the Super Bowl. Like, I couldn't fade that.
Yeah. Yeah. Good
I just
calls,
want to say
man.
thanks, man. But yeah,
Welcome.
have a good night.
Yeah, thanks for spreading the knowledge. Have a good one, Xander. All right, 708 might be the last guest tonight. What's up, 708?
Hey, what's up, Zach? Can you hear me?
I can.
Hey, so two things I just want to bring up. They're not like connected to gematria, but since I've been listening to you since when Kobe died, that's when someone sent me a link to you. I've started to notice little things like innuendos. Like the first thing was I had an idea that Kansas City might win. Um, on ESPN, they have this segment on Get Up with Damian Woody, where he smashes helmets to pick who's going to win games. So this past Friday, when he smashed the helmets, he smashed Kansas City because he said Philadelphia was going to win. But what they did was they brought out all the helmets that he smashed from the whole season.
Uh-huh.
And the one helmet that he smashed with Kansas City didn't break. And they put it on the top of all the other NFL teams' smashed helmets. And it kind of almost set up there perfectly. And the camera focused in on it.
Right.
And there's little stuff like that. I said, okay.
You know, you talking about that reminds me of something ESPN did this morning. I'm sure people who are watching ESPN before the game caught this. They had this like magician psychic come out and he did all these things that were like seemingly impossible. He asked Randy Moss to think of a name. I mean, think about how many names there are in the world. And then he wrote it down and he goes, what name were you thinking of? And Randy Moss goes, Alfonso. And then he shows on the paper that he wrote down Alfonso. And then he does like 5 other things that are impossible. And then after he does all that, he goes, if I can predict all that, I can also predict the Super Bowl. Eagles win. They dominate the fourth quarter. And again, I said, here's ESPN selling the Eagles like they've been selling all year. I said, there's no way ESPN's leading everyone to the promised land. And as dumb as people are who watch TV and believe everything they said, I said, I guarantee some of you will watch that segment and they instantly went out and bet on the Eagles because that thing seemed mind-blowing. But again, it's probably all a script. They probably tell Randy Moss to say that he's thinking of Alfonso and everything on there. Because again, you got all these former NFL players that he's doing the magic trick with. These are the guys that are in on the rigged league. So why wouldn't they participate in some rigged ritual to dupe more people into a wrong pick? And for all the people out there who watched that this morning, again, it looked impressive, but I'm sure it was a complete deception. So,
yeah, even when they had them picking on the NFL Today team or whatever, the host, she picked last, and it was tied up. All the so-called analysts, 2 had Kansas City, 2 had Philadelphia, and she picked last, and she picked Kansas City.
yeah,
And
both the women took Kansas City.
yeah, and she's she's just a host, so she doesn't really, other than being a host, she never played in NFL or anything. So I thought that was kind of, funny.
I've been pointing that out for years. Now that they have so many women involved in the men's sports, the women are having better picks than the men are.
Yeah.
So,
and the other thing was, I don't know, it's funny that it just happened, but I don't know if you ever noticed that new HBO show, The Last of Us.
I've been talking about it. Yeah, the recent episodes, a shootout in Kansas City, an episode about 2 brothers in Kansas City right before the Super Bowl. The Last of Us equals 38, the winning score of the Super Bowl.
Right. So there's different YouTubers that break down the episodes. So the last 2 episodes have been in Kansas City, and the guy, he doesn't know anything about gematria, but he was saying that the video game, it was set up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and
Len
he's
Dawson. Len Dawson
Yeah.
went from Pittsburgh to Kansas City.
right, and he's like, I don't know why they picked Kansas City. And what was funny was they released the episode on Saturday because they knew the Super Bowl was being played today. Normally they release the episodes on Sunday. And and I just thought about it. I was like, yeah, the whole thing is in Kansas City.
Yeah. And again, for people who don't know, on the 38th day of the year, CNN had a story about how the Last of Us plot is becoming a reality and fungus is starting to infect humans. And I was like, come on, man. Now they're making the news like the show. And then again, they make the show synced up with the Super Bowl. And again, it's just like Will Smith. Will Smith puts out Emancipation, who's from Philly, which equals 57, 65 days before the Super Bowl. And again, Emancipation Proclamation, written by Lincoln. And it's too late for me to spell, but again, Emancipation Proclamation 113. Mahomes becomes 11-3 in the playoffs, beating the Eagles 1-3 on Lincoln's birthday. And then, of course, Abe Lincoln also 57. But again, year after year, the world of entertainment, movies. I mean, we were talking about the same time every year. TV show release synced up with the Super Bowl. Movie release. Last year, the Kurt Warner movie release was synced with the Super Bowl. And Kurt Warner was the clue again this year. Rams 57, Missouri 57, last QB to win Super Bowl MVP and NFL MVP. And now Mahomes does it in Missouri, the year of Super Bowl 57. So
that's why I was saying, just little stuff like that where you just notice just notice these little connections is just kind of just, I don't know, it's crazy. I look forward to the NBA season and listening to some of your picks, and I'm going to start focusing more on decoding myself. So, especially on some of these sports and even some of the little movies and stuff like this that I'm starting to see now that are connected to some of these sporting events.
You learn gematria, you'll just start to see how it's all ritual. Music releases, movie releases, TV shows, and how much of it's synced up. It's like a big ongoing script.
Yeah, it is. All right, well, let me get up out of here.
All right, have a good one, 708.
All right, good work though.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right.
That Last of Us show's been messed up. Again, the character Tess dies in the show, and then the next day, the news is the voice actor for Tess from the video game is dead. And her name equaled 149, and she died 149 days after the most recent release of the video game series. And they've done a few things already with that Last of Us TV show, and now syncing it up with the Super Bowl. I have a feeling this is going to be another troll. Let's see. Max, are you a troll?
Billy D.
Yeah, it is. God, these people are losers. Hey, Max, instead of playing recordings of me talking to losers like you, why don't you come on and explain why you probably troll me for minimum wage when you could be using the knowledge and making a lot better than your loser job? We know Max isn't going to do that. Can't help a loser. So, yeah, just pathetic people to just keep coming on and, oh, let me play this clip of Zach saying exactly what needs to be said to all these fucking losers. Okay. No, they don't. There's no point to all they're going to do is play recordings of me. And trust me, they've been trolling for 7 years doing the same shit. So these trolls have no balls. They just stay anonymous. They call in to harass. They got nothing to say. Yeah, it is the 11th year anniversary of Whitney Houston's death in the bathtub. Yeah, that's true. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. So Eagles now with 107 points in Super Bowls. Len Dawson, 107-35. They also lost with 35 points in the game, 107 points. And they make 108 game balls for the Super Bowl, 54 for each team. Geometry is 108 forwards and backwards. Gematria, the practice coding numbers into words, means geometry and language. And again, the most important shape in sacred geometry is the shape of the football, the Vesica Pisces. But the Chiefs now have 108 points scored in Super Bowls. They came in with 73 points scored in Super Bowls. Remember, their last Super Bowl was the one where Brady became 7-3. Chiefs were at 73 points. And now tonight, the total points in the game are 73. But, or wait, am I tripping? Oh, hold on. They were on 108 when they were on 35. Never mind. Oh, I see. Interesting. All right, they came in with 73. They scored 38. My math got funky there for a minute. So now they're on 111 points, right? 73 plus 38, 111. Remember, the Royals won the 111th World Series. The Queen died on the start of the year, who was born on the 111th day of the year. And they kept the Eagles on 111 all-time wins versus the AFC. You know, the caller who said he likes them to face New York next year, what to think about that one? Again, that's a thought, because yeah, that is interesting. They're now on 111 points scored in Super Bowls. The reason the caller said that he liked them for next year is Kansas City Chiefs is 64. It'll be their 64th season next year, the Chiefs. And New York Giants is also 64. And assuming the Chiefs would be the number 1 seed next year, they would play 3 games in the playoffs. And Andy Reid, if he did win the Super Bowl, if he won 3 games in the playoffs, he has 22 wins right now. Eagles 22, Giants 25. So, I mean, that's an interesting narrative right now. The other team that loves 25 in the NFL is the Falcons. I don't think they're going to have to do a lot in the offseason. They don't look like the team. But the Giants were on the cusp of greatness this year. Daniel Jones would really have to take another big step. Giants, yeah, I mean, they weren't too far off. So that is interesting in light of realizing that the Chiefs have 111 points in Super Bowls. 73 plus 38. To think more about that one. What to think more about that one? And the Giants are 4-1 in Super Bowls right now, and the Super Bowl is on the 42nd day of the next year. So that was the other point that caller made, and that is true. I know the Gematria Las Vegas. Why do you want me to type it in? Where does that fit in with what I'm talking about right now? Las Vegas. That's where the Super Bowl is next year. You see how Las Vegas, Nevada is 133, so is football. For the record, from that Sachin Littlefeather dying at age 75 to today's Super Bowl was 133 days later. Hold on, I forget what the name of the stadium is for the Raiders Stadium. Allegiant Stadium, let's see. $168 goes with New York City. Yeah, well, we got a long time to think about it, but that's a early narrative to think about if the Chiefs are to go back to back. Again, Andy Reid did tell Jimmy Johnson that he's going to stick around to win some more Super Bowls. So Jonathan wants to hop on. I got to stay on for Jonathan. Let's all right, there's the link, Jonathan. Link's in the chat. What's up, man?
Yo, I just wanted to say that in light of the Allegiant Stadium numbers having 60 in the most pure and 102, well, that would cover 4 of the base ciphers in that one word that I don't really want to say.
Yeah.
You would, if the NFC won the Super Bowl next year, the NFC would have 30 Super Bowl wins on the 42nd day of the year in the stadium that equals 102 and 60. So you'd get all 4 of the base ciphers covered. So it's going to be a black quarterback, and the NFC's probably going to win. Maybe Daniel Jones gets hurt because, yeah, I'm not going to make that prediction right now. But we'll see, man, because I like all those 4 numbers coming together, because that's really funny that Allegiant Stadium 60 and 102 on the 42nd day of the year, and a 30 can be picked up next year.
Yeah, it's possible. I kind of like the idea more of it getting tied at 29-29 for 58. But it's possible. We got plenty of time to study. So
No doubt. But yeah, I just wanted to add that, man. Peace.
all right, appreciate it. What's up, Jonathan?
Zach,
What's up, man?
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, not much. And so, did you notice that Eminem stunt double? They said he actually passed away on the 31st of January, which is the championship number, but they announced it today. So Amy cracked their code. She has like a 3 or 4 minute video on it. But his name is Eminem stunt double, right? His name is Ryan Shepherd. That equals 57. Like Super Bowl 57 was today on a 57 date numerology. And conspiracy equals 51 and 57. Eminem turns 51 this year. And he died in Kennewick, Washington. Kennewick is 41 and 49, just like Super Bowl.
That's close to where I am.
And check this out. There's another person walking across the street. Oh, and he died on 14th Avenue, I think it was. And the word end equals 14. So there's another rapper, right, walking across the street at 3 a.m. Supposedly, they said he was crossing the street at 2.
Too much on the Super Bowl. The other year, it was a player standing along the side of the highway. Yeah, I mean, it's just dumb how they do the same stuff every year. Ryan Shepard, 57, dead the day of Super Bowl 57. I think Andy Reid got his 129th win with the Chiefs today, too, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right. And so he died on 14th and Olympia, crossing the street. He got hit by a truck. Remember, the quarterback from the Redskins got hit by a truck in Fort Lauderdale. So, and remember that was the last time a black quarterback. Well, not the last time, but he was the first quarterback. The first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl was Doug Williams for the Redskins. And then so check this out.
Here are more 42s and might have 42s with the Super Bowl too. Detroit's on the 42nd parallel. Washington's the 42nd state. And then Arizona's 42 land. So I think that's also part of it.
Yeah, and his name is he's Eminem Stump Double, right? But his rap name was Rap Boy, and that equals 32, just like all the 32s around the game today, right?
Right.
And then Rap Boy also equals 85. National Football League equals 85. It also equals 31. Big Chiefs number 32 and 31. The Chiefs are now 3-2 in Super Bowls.
Should equal 77 as well. Boston got a big win today. Boston's got that 77 connection.
And so, right, okay. And now, okay, so now Plug 2's dead from De La Soul, right? And Plug 2's from Amityville, New York. Eminem has a song called Amityville.
Yeah, he does on his second album.
And on that same album, he has the second track is called Kill You. And so now you got a rapper dead from Amityville. And on that song Amityville, he's talking about killing.
Right.
And the second song is called Kill You on that album. And now you got a dead rapper from Amityville. And like I talk about in the book, there's always at least. Yeah,
go ahead. You know, the 40 fits in too, because Andy Reid became 4-0 versus the Eagles today. And again, the season began 173 days after his birthday, the 40th prime.
Oh, he's 4-0 now. Yeah, and this guy, Ryan Shepard, was 40 years old when he got hit by this truck.
Right. The moon's in Scorpio, which also equals 40.
And so, so like I said in the book, I meant to get back with you on the stream to do a stream, but my computer crashed. But I'm taking it to somebody tomorrow to hopefully get it fixed. But like I said in the book, it seems like there's always a member of a hip hop group that has to pass away. Like, for example, De La Soul today, Migos, Wu-Tang Clan, Two Life Crew, NWA, 3-6 Mafia. I could go on and on. Ghetto Boys. So the Mobb Deep. So there's always seems to be at least one member of a group that has to go. Now, if you've watched the Super Bowl, one of the first commercials was, I guess it's the next Fast and Furious movie. And on that commercial, they played a Bone song.
Oh, hold on. By the way, just that Fast and Furious is in Rome. And again, the Super Bowl is 57 days after the Pope's birthday on 57 date numerology. And Rome is 57. And again, they're showing you Fast and Furious in Rome. But okay, they played a Bone song in the thing. I'm listening.
Right. So they played a Bone song. And if you notice, nobody from Bone is dead yet. That's one of the only groups where no member has died yet. But that doesn't mean it's not going to happen, right?
It actually, I'm really surprised that nobody from Bone has died in light of all the bodies connected to LeBron and all his years in Cleveland. And they were like the first satanic hip hop group. So it's just
right. Right. And you got and you got 3 members of 3-6 Mafia dead. Gangsta Boo, Lord Infamous, Coops the Nigga. So you got 3
Busy Bone
rappers.
is 46 years old right now. Rapping Sacrifice, 46. Lazy Bone is 47 right now. Ohio, I just got to check this. Crazy Bone is 49, approaching 50. Flesh and Bone is also going to turn 50 later this year.
Well, that's the thing. That might be the one right there, because this is hip hop turns 50 this year. And anybody turning 50 like Flesh and Bone might want to watch their ass, right?
Okay.
You know,
Hip
because
Hop's birthday is 1973.
right, hip hop turns 50 on the 11th of August. And
the
so
223rd day of the year. Interesting.
right, so anybody turning 50, anybody with that 50 connection might want to watch themselves. I mean, I don't think nothing's gonna happen to 50 Cent, but you never know though, right? But yeah, because hip hop turns 50 this year. You know, anybody with that 50 connection or turning 50 years old, or Gematria with 50, should be watching their ass. And but it's just par for the course. It's like you got Takeoff from the Migos dead. And
hold on, before you go on to the
yeah,
next thought, the rapper who said he's going to die at 27 is the Philadelphia rapper Lil Uzi Vert. He's 27 right now. As Mahomes wins the Super Bowl at 27. He's born on the day Ignatius Loyola. He's born on the 212th day of the year, Lil Uzi Vert, as Philly goes down on 2-1-2.
2-1-2, right.
So
Well, speaking of Philly, remember the battle rapper Tech 9 from Philly that dropped dead?
right.
Okay, now Tech 9, the one from Kansas City, has a song called Red Kingdom, and it's dedicated to the Chiefs. Red Kingdom equals 55, Satan equals 55, God equals 55, but he's got this song called Red Kingdom, and it's supposed to be like the new anthem. Even though the song came out 4 years ago, it's like the new anthem for the Chiefs, and it's called Red Kingdom. And notice how Rihanna came out in all red, and Tech 9 back in the day was a blood, right? A blood from Kansas City, and the Chiefs were red, and Rihanna came out in all red. But that's funny that Tech 9, the battle rapper, is from Philly. He died years ago, and now this Tech 9 song, even though it's 4 years old, is having a reemergence.
Okay, interesting.
Because they're basically saying that song is gonna be like, instead of them doing whatever it is, the tomahawk, the whoa, they're basically saying that the Red Kingdom song is gonna be is gonna take over that. Basically, it's gonna be their new anthem. And I was watching an interview. Somebody was interviewing Tech 9, and he was like, "Yeah, I can guarantee you that the Chiefs are gonna win." Like, he guaranteed it. Like, he was like adamant about the Chiefs winning.
Yeah, Baby Goat takes it.
Yeah,
Legacy's preserved. Only you got to be on a native team if you want to win as a black QB in the NFL. So
exactly. That's why. Well, I mean, I think it's going to be 2 black quarterbacks in Super Bowl 59, but then you got to ask yourself what happens next year. Maybe they do go back to back, the Chiefs, or maybe they want to give it to a white quarterback next year, because it's going to be. Well, we don't know, but I'm just assuming it's going to be 2 black quarterbacks in Super Bowl 59. So maybe they'll give it to a white one next year.
black and white both have Gematria at 29. Could get tied up at 29 apiece next year. So,
But that's basically what I was, the thoughts that I was having about just about Eminem and oh, and his stunt double died on 14th, just like N equals 14.
KC.
And Kennewick equals 41 and 49, like Super Bowl equals 41 and 49. And Conspiracy 57-51. Eminem turns 51 this year, and his stunt double's gone.
Oh yeah, Kennewick's also got the 148 like Kansas City. Interesting. Kennewick, Washington, big 90 was a big number on the game.
That's not too far from you, right?
It's 30 miles from where I am.
Is that one of the Tri-Cities?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the biggest of the Tri-Cities, Kennewick. So why would that guy be in Kennewick?
And why would he be exactly? And why would he be walking across the street at 2:45 in the morning? But that's not the first time we ever heard of a rapper crossing the street and getting hit by a car, walking at a random time, like 2:45 in the morning in Kennewick, crossing the street, and he gets hit by a truck. And notice this happened on the 31st of January, but they didn't announce it till today.
Does it happen when?
The 31st of January, like
Super Bowl 131. Okay,
like 131, yeah.
Until the day of the Super Bowl to break the news.
Yeah, and this happened like 2 weeks ago. Like, why did they just say it when it happened? Like they had to wait till today and to announce it. And Amy cracked their code, got like a 4 or 5 minute video on this. And she's the one who, that's how I found out. And I made some comments in her video about the 57 and the 51.
Yeah. Every year now, it seems like Zero, they got somebody getting ran over by a car story.
And remember that Eminem was born in
his birthday is what? October what?
17th.
Let's see. Did you look how it syncs up with his birthday?
I didn't. But remember where Eminem was born in Missouri.
Okay.
Eminem was
Missouri. He's 50 like Chiefs is 50.
But I don't think he was born in Kansas City. He was born in like St. Joseph, Missouri, or something like that. Or he was born in Missouri. It's close to Kansas City, though.
His birthday is the day leaving 75 days left in the year. And Mahomes just got his 75th win. Let's see.
Oh, you're looking at the days.
He died 106 days after Eminem's birthday or on Eminem's 107th day of his age. And again, ritual sacrifice is 107.
107, right.
The 106 thing just goes with the black is 106. Black power is 106. Black Lives Matter is 106. And you had the first Super Bowl between two black quarterbacks. And Eminem, he's like Elvis.
Where was Eminem born at? Wasn't it in like he was born real close to Kansas City?
St. Joseph, Missouri. Yeah, he's from Missouri.
Yeah. So I mean, come on, like what are the odds of all this? Like he's got a song called Amityville, a rapper from Amityville drops dead. And on that same album, he got a song called Kill You. The stunt double drops dead 2 weeks ago, but they don't announce it till today. Oh, I see the 46 in St. Joseph, yeah.
Yeah, 46 and 62 like Sacrifice, 62 like Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, the De La Soul thing is right too, because he does have that song Amityville, and it did say that they formed the group. I don't know if he was from Amityville, but it said they formed the group in '87 in Amityville.
Yeah, they were all from Amityville. I believe they were all three of them was from Amityville. But De La Soul, they had a lot of big songs. Like they were like at the time when De La Soul came out, like a lot of the West Coast gangster rap was taking over, but they was like, they had big songs like Me, Myself, and I, Break of Dawn, Stakes is High. And so they was like, they were part of the Native Tongues, which is a Tribe Called Quest, Black Sheep, the Jungle Brothers. So it was their music was positive, it was real positive and it was fun, and they were like one of the most creative groups ever. And of course a member has to die, just like Tribe Called Quest. Five Dog's gone. So now you got now you got one of the members of De La Soul gone. You know, who's next? Like a member from Black Sheep has to go probably next. I don't know if somebody from Jungle Brothers has died. I probably got to look that one up. I'm pretty sure somebody's died from Jungle Brothers though. But anytime you have a group, most hip hop groups, for the most part, somebody's gonna go. And the only exception is Bone. There's might be a couple other groups, but that's the only one I could think about. Well, UGK, Pimp C, obviously. But off the top of my head, the only one.
Old Dirty Bastard from Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh yeah, that's major. I'm actually writing about Old Dirty Bastard right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Proof, right? Proof was Eminem's best friend,
right?
And he his last album was the last album that he came out with. Proof is called Searching for Jerry Garcia, and on the album cover, he's holding a skeleton. Supposedly, it's like Jerry Garcia's skeleton. And so that this album came out, Proof's very last album while he was alive, came out on the exact 10-year anniversary that Jerry Garcia passed away, 10 years prior. Because the Proof album came out in 2005 and Jerry Garcia died in 1995.
I see.
And
I remember a member of the Dog Pound Gangsters died, and I have to go back and look at it, but it was like connected to Daz Dillinger. Something about that a few years back.
Oh yeah, badass. Yeah, badass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I mean, like it never fails. Like it never fails. Like.
No, but I mean, just look at the numbers. Ryan Shepard, 57, dead on 131. Super Bowl numbers, news saved for the day of the Super Bowl. Gematria, the killing name. That's why it's just like, how do people deny this stuff? I mean, the movie poster, it's just like, I can't figure out what's wrong with people.
Yeah. I mean, I was writing about okay. Now you know how those three rappers from Michigan just disappeared
from Lounge 31, and they saved the news for the 31st day of the year, and two of them were 31 years old, and then they're found dead on the 33rd day of the year. The three rappers by the police. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that I called the club and talked to one of the owners?
Yeah, I heard you say that on a screen one day.
Yeah, he asked me, he's like, "Are you recording this conversation?" I was like, "No," and I was. But when he said that, I was like, "Okay, I'm not going to play this." So he said legit. He was mad. He was like, "We didn't have anything to do with that." He's like, "People are trying to make it seem like he's like, we didn't have." He said the DJ didn't show up. That's the only reason they didn't perform here. He's like, "I don't know what happened to them." So.
But like. Once I get the computer fixed, I could give you a lot more because I'll be able to read what I've been writing. But just one thing that I noticed that's first of all, three rappers disappeared from Michigan, right? But the part where I'm at right now is I got three rappers in a row from Michigan that dropped dead consecutively. Like Blade Icewood was the first one in 2005. I'm just going off the top of my head. And then in 2006, early 2006, Jay Dilla dropped dead from Detroit. So Blade Icewood, he was like one of the biggest underground rappers in Detroit at the time. He died in 2005. Then in 2006, Jay Dilla, one of the biggest producers out of Detroit, drops dead at 32 years old. And then a few months later, Proof gets shot and killed. So 3 Detroit rappers in a row. And then right after that, it's Big Mo from Houston, Big Hawk from Houston, and then Pimp C, who's from Port Arthur, which is right outside of Houston. Then right after that, you won't believe this now. Right after that, 2 New Orleans rappers in a row. Magnolia Shorty and what's his name? VL Slim or something like that. So I'm like, wow, what's the odds of this? Like 3 Detroit rappers in a row, then 2 Houston area rappers. Excuse me, 3 Houston area rappers. Port Arthur's like an hour away from Houston. And then 2 New Orleans rappers, all consecutively.
Yeah, patterns.
Yeah. Once I get the computer fixed, we'll do a live, and then I could give you more details. I had somebody was, because the TV went out, and so we were putting up a brand new TV, and somehow when we were putting it up, somehow it leaned onto the computer and it messed up the screen. But as soon as I fixed the screen, I could give you more because I could read it straight from the document. But that's all I really had, though. I just wanted to like point that out about Amityville and stuff, and De La Soul.
All right. Appreciate it, Jonathan. Thanks, man.
All right.
All right. Have a good night.
Later. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Welcome. All right. And thank you to everyone in the chat. And thank you to everyone who hits the like and the share and helps get out the word about how rigged this world is. And again, if you ever are browsing the supposed truth channels and you hear them say things like, oh, I don't talk about gematria because that's fringe knowledge, just realize that person probably talks about nothing but bullshit that has anything to do with anything while we prove our points and nail futures and predictions year after year. And people continue to ignore this knowledge. And again, I mean, it's just, people are pathetic. Again, this isn't fringe knowledge. This is the knowledge that's used every day to rig the games. Every year, the Super Bowl is all about the halftime singer. Rihanna, 38 combined points at the end of the first half, 38 the winning score. Jalen Hurts with 38 passing attempts. Kansas City preserves Joe Montana's 38-year-old passing record. HBO, because it's all, again, it's the cabal, you guys. They're putting out The Last of Us and changing the city to Kansas City. Got a shootout in Kansas City. You got an episode released the day before the Super Bowl out. Brothers in Kansas City the day before the first brotherly love Super Bowl. And again, just coming back to that one cipher, the alphabetic order with the rules numerology. That's the most pure cipher every year. And, another big W for the community. And realize that the certain channels that are putting out the wrong picks every year and then talking about how they're the best, these people are laughable. And again, some of them come from families at LAPD and used to work at TSA and stiff cabbies. Again, these people are mad suspect. I'd stay away from them. They are definitely not putting money in people's pockets, putting them back in the casinos. Again, Eagles, there were a lot of red flags with the Eagles. They didn't have any 57s. ESPN hyped them to win the Super Bowl. And think about what ESPN did. They inflated people so big, and had them on this future only for it to pop at the last game. So hopefully all those people who did take ESPN's advice in week 3, hopefully they played smart and they hedged with the Chiefs today. And again, I'm mad about what Google did to me. Google cost me a lot because I would have had a lot more people on for the Super Bowl sign up, but they suspended me right before the conference championships. And realize, you guys, that's what I had to deal with. 20-some channel deletions, stuff like what they did, suspending me for 2 weeks so I couldn't talk at all between conference championships and Super Bowl on the main sports channel. And again, you got to ask yourself, why am I so censored? And I think the answer is obvious. We got the knowledge. And don't forget, 38 is a special number. Gematria 38, English 38, Kabbalah. Well, Kabbalah in the most simple cipher is 38. Most simple cipher is 38. Like Jew. And again, LeBron just had the huge 38 ritual, right? Rihanna comes out singing all about LeBron, who just scored 38 on the 38th day of the year. And if you guys missed my free Twitter post that morning before he set the record, remember, Look at this. Forwards and backwards. Check this out. Forwards and backwards. He needed 36 points to set the record, right? He ended up scoring 38 in the game. But notice Thunder's 36 and so is record. Forwards and backwards. 36. Again, I put this out for free on Twitter the morning before he did it. I said, isn't it funny that LeBron needs 36 points to set the record versus the Thunder? And what do you know? Exactly what he did. But he scored 38 on the 38th day of the year while he's 38 years old, beating the record that was in the 38,000 point range. And he did it 38 years and 308 days after the record was set. And again, he did it 3,883 days after he beat the Thunder in his first NBA Finals. And for the record, that is a finals number as well, 38. So have to see what this new look Lakers look like after the trades. It'll probably be clear if they look like a much better team not long after the All-Star break. So we're going to keep our eyes peeled on that. Look for the rituals. Warriors just did lose to the Lakers the day before the Super Bowl with 212 combined points in the game. And Lakers did have some good numbers for that game. So there it is. There it is. Patty Cakes preserves the legacy. Black QBs only win on native teams. RIP to Bobby Hole, drafted in the NHL in 57, dead the day after the Stanley Cup was set. Another Native American type of clue. All right, all. Thank you to the Super Chatters. Here, let me say thank you to the Super Chatters real quick, and then we'll wrap this up. Not too late to give a tip if you made some nice money, but let me say thank you to the people who did. And we'll call it a night, because it's been a lot of live streaming today. Got to put in the time to try to wake up the world so they stop filling up these stadiums. Again, you go to these stadiums, you're supporting a very, very evil league. Literally ritually sacrificing people. Shout out to Willis19, chipped in a big 20. Shout out to Duffman187, chipped in 5 Canadian. Shout out to King Henry, chipped in 20. Shout out to A. Nate Robinson. A. Nate Robinson reshared my tweet this morning. Appreciate you helping get out the word. Again, you guys, all you guys who say, it's wrong that you, again, for years, put out winners, and I still continue to put out free information that clues people in. Again, right here. Kansas City is the underdog, posted way before the game today. Kansas City is the underdog in Super Bowl 57. Type Kansas City in the calculator at GematriaEffectNews. 122.67. Again, imagine had you just followed the directions. You might have clued in, right? And something we talked about on Patreon, where we go above and beyond, is, again, Kansas City got the 122nd road win of the season on a date written 12/2. In the Puppy Dog Bowl, 122.67 the numbers, Kansas City. Again, Kansas City 32 as well, gets to 3-2 in Super Bowls and does it 148 days after Mahomes' birthday. And the governor's birthday, who happens to be the 57th governor of Missouri. Boom. Gematria fringe knowledge to be putting some YouTuber just put up a video about how they're not talking about gematria for the Super Bowl because it's fringe knowledge. It's like fringe knowledge. Okay, yeah. Okay, literally nobody's ever called more futures in the history of the world than yours truly. That's not a false statement. That's a fact. So it's like, how could you be saying that it's fringe knowledge when I've proven way beyond a shadow of a doubt how relevant it is? You know, you got to be either stupid or a deceiver. And realize almost everyone on YouTube that has a platform with a big subscriber count, that's what they are. They are an agent. They are a deceiver. They're here to mislead people. That's why all these channels with these big platforms don't say a peep about this knowledge. Again, their handlers don't let them talk about it. Yours truly doesn't have any handlers. So. And just things that are a joke. Like, how is Gary Payton's son in the NBA? I mean, he sucks at basketball. Okay. Like, why would any team even want to acquire him? Anyway. All right. He's definitely not Gary. Father-son league, though. We always talk about that. Father-son rig sports. Gary Payton's son is trash. Okay. Until next time, True Seeker, have a good one. Thanks for the likes and the shares, and we'll be back tomorrow.